the National Weather Service. An accused child molester is back in jail in Boone County. John Peterson had bonded out of jail on Friday after being arrested in 2022, but he was arrested again on Monday after violating his bond agreement. He's due to stand trial in March for charges of child porn and neglect as well. A fight in a parking lot followed by a police chase. Harrison Silcox reports.
The fight was going on at a parking lot near the Castleton Square Mall. The IMPD says an off-duty officer was trying to settle things down before they called in for backup. When those officers responded, one suspect hopped in a car and took off. The cops tried to pull them over, but the driver refused. A police chase followed, and that ended in a wreck with the suspect's car going off-road near 465 in North Meridian. 2 people inside that car were hurt pretty bad, but they should be all right, according to IMPD. 5 people from that fight now face charges. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A state Senate panel has approved a scaled-down version of Governor Braun's property tax plan. The latest version retains relief for homeowners over the age of 65 and disabled veterans, and also has first-time homebuyer tax credits built in. 2 million egg-laying birds had to be killed recently at a farm in Seymour because of bird flu. Now, with a strained supply chain, IU economist Carol Rogers tells Wish TV that you will be paying upwards of $5 to $6 for a carton of eggs.
Because the demand is so high and continuously high that probably by mid to late summer.
That's when you can expect egg prices to start coming back down. Love is in the air at the Nickel Plate Express this weekend. The Hamilton County attraction is offering a romantic ride on the rails for Valentine's Day. Tickets start at $47 and go up to $180 for a table of 4. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Northbound 69 still closed at Campus Parkway because of a semi-crash from earlier this morning. It spilled its load and went into the trees, and that's what they're cleaning up on right now. Again, that's northbound 69 shut down at Campus Parkway. If you need a reroute before you head out, check out App Matin Traffic. Also, looking at a crash in Plainfield, State Road 267 at US 40. Crash east side 25th at Dr. Andrew J. Brown Avenue. Looking at southbound 6570 downtown. Crash on the exit to westbound at 70. It's on the right shoulder. Traffic backed up to the north split from the south split. Traffic sponsored by The Tile Shop. Pros get more at The Tile Shop. More selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget. More perks and more service like free curbside pickup. Start getting more at The Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy skies, seasonable temperatures, and a few flurries or light snow showers today. A high of around 39. Mostly cloudy, quiet, and chilly tonight. A low down to 28. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
34 and cloudy on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall. When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money. And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, Casey, as we predicted, they didn't even wait till 8:30 to take a dump on the entire state.
You must be talking about the Senate. The committee, the Tax and Fiscal Policy Group, meeting in room 431.
These people are just, and we've been telling you this for 8 years on this show, and, you know, I've heard this so many times, especially over the past 5 or 6 years, I didn't get you in the beginning, but you were right about all of it. And for 8 years, we've been telling you about how rotten and awful these Republicans who run this state are, and how much they hate you, and how much they view you as nothing but a personal piggy bank, that they don't give a damn about you and about your family. And they put it on full display this morning. Within 30 minutes, they completely gutted the property tax bill. And unless you're a very targeted individual, you're now completely screwed. They hate you and your family so much that despite the thousands of phone calls and emails that they have received from specific people giving them specific examples of how they're on the verge of being flushed out of their home this morning before 8:30, they gutted that bill, and the overwhelming majority of Hoosier taxpayers are going to get absolutely nothing. That is the Indiana Republican Party. They are putting the $58.5 million taxpayer-funded hotel in Carmel ahead of you. Yeah. We've been telling you this for 8 years. I'm so sick of these people, and you have to stop voting for them. You have the governor of the state doing everything in his power to drive this agenda day after day after day after day. And in the end, they didn't even let it get out of committee. They didn't even let the full Senate vote on it. Those senators sided with the Democrats. They took a giant middle finger and they stuck it in everybody's face. Everything we've been telling you for 8 years about these people in 30 minutes.
Yeah, when I first met you, I didn't get you either, because I really thought it was, white hats, black hats, good guys, bad guys. But after spending 3 years in this little cube with you, I've come to understand what you're talking about. And we've spent the past 2.5 years together talking about property tax relief for everyone in the great state of Indiana. And this time we had the governor of the state behind us and the lieutenant governor all on the same page, saying that property owners need relief. They're getting priced out of their homes. There was a bill introduced, Senate Bill 1, and we really thought, with all of the input and all of the engagement that we had received from all of others, hey, this was it. You said last night, I got a bad feeling. And you were correct, because this morning, the Tax and Policy Committee meeting in room 431. They started at 8 a.m. this morning. And like you said, by 8:30, the Senate panel is advancing a scaled down version of the property tax plan.
So, okay, a couple things. One, look, we're going to be here and we're going to be number one no matter what happens. We didn't do this for ratings. We haven't been doing this for anything other than you, because we love you, our audience, and we've been in this fight together for the past basically year now, and you should be outraged. If you're hearing this right now, you should stop what you're doing. If you need to stop what you're doing. Look, we can't do all the work for you. You have to stop what you're doing and email your senator, whoever it is. There's 50 of them. I can't tell you who your senator is because you're hearing us in 20-plus counties. You need to stop what you're doing and email and call your senator and tell them how outraged you are about what took place in there today, that they're not even going to let this get to the Senate with the full vote. Now, a couple things. What they left in the bill. There is some language that is minor. And by the way, it's hard to keep track of all this because we're working. So we're trying to watch a hearing and work, and it's just, I mean, look, I knew when they scheduled an 8 a.m. meeting, this thing was going down, and that's why I said last night, I said, it's going to get tanked. They left, it's my understanding they left the growth cap in, which means your property tax bill can only go up a certain amount. They left the referendum language in, which would basically say you have to go to a general election in an even year. So no more of this primary election in city council race years to ram these things through. So that stuff is positive. There's some reset. I mean, it's the most government thing ever. There's some reset for people over 65 and disabled veterans, not even regular veterans, but just disabled veterans. If you meet a certain criteria, look, nobody's tried harder on this than us. And if somebody has a better idea, on how to pass this, we're all ears. but we've done everything we can do. We've been telling you for 8 years, stop voting for Republicans. The governor of the state has done everything he can. And look, it's not over yet, right? It's not over until the final vote is done. And we had a conversation this morning, you and I did, with somebody from the State House. He said, look, things happen all the time at 1:30 in the morning on Wednesday when the session ends on a Thursday, right? So who knows? But it's just everything we've been telling you about these Republicans. And look, Braun's done everything he possibly could do. I mean, I voted for 2 Republicans this time. Well, 3. I voted against Destiny Wells. So I voted 4 in the affirmative for 2 Republicans, Braun and Trump. And I feel like both of those people have done everything they've promised to do thus far. I was told Braun is going to continue to fight this, but you will continue to pay for the $58.5 million hotel. You will continue to see your property taxes skyrocket for the $4 million empty patch of grass in Brownsburg. You will continue to pay skyrocketing property taxes for the $12 million tennis courts in Westfield. Because at the end of the day, these Republicans believe in big government. They believe you are nothing but a piggy bank. And as long as you keep voting for them out of fear of a Democrat or whatever, then this is the government that you're gonna get. But what you got to do today, and we'll keep, look, it's not going to, other than we're property taxpayers, it's not going to affect us. We're not going to be any less, number one. We're not going anywhere. This fight has been about you. And so today I'm asking you to engage. Whatever you're doing, if you can drop it now and email and call your senator, whoever that may be, and tell them how irate you are over this, that these people, once again, have proven they don't care about you at all.
So it is an amended bill that's going to move out of committee. Are you surprised by that? You're not surprised.
No, I've been telling you this for several days now. I've been telling our audience this for several days. I can read the tea leaves. I know these people better than they know themselves. I know the lack, we've said this numerous times on the air, the lack of public comment from these lawmakers told you what they were going to do. Now, again, if the pressure is intense enough, it still goes to the full Senate. There's an amendment process there. It can get, the rate resets can get tucked back in there. It'll go to the House. It can get put back in there. It'll go to conference committee and get put back in there. This is round 1, and everybody should be pissed off about it, and everybody should be irate about it. But it is another example of how much these people hate you. They chose the mayor of Carmel, who with a straight face looked at them and said, "Oh yeah, public safety could be in real trouble." All of these school corporations and all this wasteful spending. Look at every community in the state. That's what they chose. We told you for months it is us versus them, and this will be the one great thing that will come out of no matter what the final language is that the entire state is seeing, because of Braun's property tax bill, how much these people actually hate you. And until you hate them even more than they hate you, they will keep screwing you. Until you not only stop voting for them, when you see them in public in a peaceful, law-abiding manner, you get up and you harass them. You follow the law, you don't do anything stupid, but until they feel the pain the way you're feeling the pain that they're causing you, the public shaming, letting everybody know who they are, when you see them at a Wendy's or a Walmart or whatever, they're going to keep doing this. This is who they are. And that is one of the best things that will come out of this bill is now every single person in the state is going to know what a complete group of scumbags these lawmakers are and how they actually view you.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
The administration is taking shape.
I, Marco Rubio. I, Marco Rubio.
Un gran honor y le doy las gracias al presidente Trump. I just said I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. That's what I said. So.
Hearings and votes continue.
You have said you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine.
Confirmations are underway.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed.
Follow the first 100 days on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messelthorpe, Dubois,
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years!
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five!
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Howard Bailey Financial is now in Carmel on Rangeline Road. For over 20 years, we've helped people navigate their retirement journeys, and now we're bringing our experience closer to home. Visit retirecarmel.com to schedule your appointment or text Carmel to 888-26-21104 to download a free retirement resource. Together, let's build the retirement you deserve. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
This Valentine's Day, the perfect gift is at PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms in Brownsburg. You're going to find that one-of-a-kind piece without breaking the bank. Unique vintage pieces of jewelry dating back to the 1800s. One-of-a-kind pieces from local jewelers. And they also have those wow factor diamonds if you're looking to make this Valentine's Day something special. A big jewelry selection without the big jewelry price. It's more than a kiss. 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-858-3030 online at premierarms.com.
Okay, we can't make this any easier for the audience now, Casey.
Rob, who's my state senator?
Just unbelievable. Like some guy in the YouTube chat. I realize you've done all the work for the past year and a half.
But do a little more.
So we said, look, these dirtball senators gutted the property tax bill this morning, and I said the only thing you can do now, wherever you're at, is like email and phone call them immediately. And I would assume in 2025 that it's pretty easy to find anything instantaneously on the internet. Mm-hmm. But for those of you who are incapable of doing anything without us telling you, here's how you do it. We will dumb it down to you to the point where we will. It. If you go to Google, now you've been to Google, Casey?
I'm aware of Google.
If you go to Google and you type in these exact words, okay? Mm-hmm. If you type in, who is my Indiana senator? So you go to Google and then you type in, who is my Indiana senator? The top link that comes up for me is find your legislator. Mm-hmm. They're like the very first thing.
Yeah, there it is.
From iga.in.gov. Oh, it did it for you too.
It did.
Then you click find your legislator. Mm-hmm. It's going to ask you for your information, and then immediately, boom, it popped up. Your street address, and then boom, and there it is, and that person.
Yeah.
These people took a colossal crap on you today, and if you won't spend 5 minutes to go do the Google search and email these people, then you deserve it. I mean, this is where we're at. They're not hiding it. They're not hiding the disdain they have for you. The governor laid out to these people, specific people. Like he was naming names, like this guy from Plainfield and this guy from Greenwood and this guy from Carmel.
Yeah.
Like all over this the state, he's gone on the tour. It's not like they don't know. And it is, I'm not surprised. We talked about this. You and I talked about this several times on air, that they were looking for any possible reason. And now you got to get nasty. Now you've got to get nasty. If you weren't nasty before, now is the time. If you don't email, expect to keep getting screwed. If you don't call, expect to keep getting screwed. All you have to do, again, go to Google. Who is my Indiana senator? Pops up. It took me 30 seconds from the time I Googled that to get to that link, to put my address in, and there it is.
You know, the great thing about Google, you can even misspell senator, and it's still going to help you.
My gosh, these people are just unbelievable at how brazen they are about it. But hey, and somebody told me this over the weekend. They said, I hated you when you first showed up here because I thought you were some guy just making stuff up, and you were talking about my guys.
Right.
And how many times, he said, over the past 8 years,
Good
have
guys,
you been
bad guys,
proven?
white hats, black hats.
Absolutely. So today, right now, you have plenty of opportunity to get this reinserted. There's an amendment process that'll go through the Senate. There's a final vote in the Senate. It goes to the House of Reps. At this point, they might as well just kill the bill. You're not helping people. All you're saying is, well, your property taxes will limit the amount you get screwed in the future. Well, hot damn, hope you don't strain a muscle helping everybody out.
But as far as we can tell, the rate reset has been taken out.
For everybody, but a very select group of people, yes. So what they said today is that the government matters more than you. They know the excess. They know the waste. They know the abuse. They know the unaccountability. They know about all of that. They know that the townships are sitting on $774 million. They know most of them do absolutely nothing. They simply don't care because they don't fear you. You have to, not in a violent way, in a political way, you have to make them fear you. They have stopped fearing people because the Democrats are so inept and they don't believe you'll run somebody good or not vote for them that they're going to do whatever they want to do. We've been telling you this for weeks on this program, that this was how it was going to go down, and they're playing it out right in front of you. So just go to Google. Who is my Indiana senator? 30 seconds. There it is. Email them, call them, whatever, and there you go. All right.
We need to talk about what influences people.
Yeah, I want to.
Do we have time for this?
No, I want to take a break before we get in that, because Capital Chronicle had an article yesterday that just dovetails perfectly with this, and how much money special interest is spending to benefit a select group of people at the expense of you. It's not surprising. It's just jarring when you see the number on how much lobbyists are spending, or companies are spending on lobbyists in the state of Indiana. So
attempting to influence lawmakers. Before we get into break, though, I want to bring this to your attention because you're on a roll this morning. I feel it. The heat is literally vibrating off of you today.
I'm mad for the people, Casey. I'm not mad. Look, I've been around these people for 15 years. I know exactly how they operate. The only person who successfully, significantly, and consistently cut taxes was me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised by this. I'm outraged for the people. I'm outraged that for 8 years I've been telling people, stop voting for them. Don't just give the vote away. This is why they behave the way they do. And now people who have had some hope and some optimism, you have a governor that's been really trying very, very hard, that they're now, again, like, I hate this. I would rather be wrong. I would rather be wrong and people be getting the help that they need. These Republicans are financial predators. They're financial predators. What are the two taxes they target? Property and gas. Why is that? Because you can't get around it, and everybody has to pay it, and no matter how much it hurts you, they don't care. They just simply do not care.
So in Iowa yesterday, the governor there launched Iowa Doge. We've been talking about Indiana Doge. They're actually doing it in Iowa.
Yeah. All right.
Governor Kim Reynolds.
Let's take a break. Kurt will have the news when we come. And look, don't give up. There's plenty of time. This is a if it's a baseball game, we're through.
Yeah, where are we?
We're probably about the second inning right now. Now, would you rather have a lead at the end of the second inning?
Sure.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
But it's not over. You still have the ability to overwhelm these people with letting them know you're aware, you're pissed off, you're done, and if they don't do this, there's going to be ramifications. So no panic yet. But these people deserve to be publicly shamed today.
They need to be told how you feel about what they did.
They absolutely do. And you know what, Casey? And I'm not being facetious when I say this, and I'm not trying to be a blowhard when I say this. I think there's a big part of those people down the street from us who don't want to do it because we're for it. They don't want to do it because they see it as a win for us rather than a win for the millions of taxpayers.
Right.
And they view it as, well, anything that would embolden those guys. No, we can't.
They'd rather stick it to Hoosiers.
Absolutely. Because if Rob Kendall got to do some sort of victory lap, they wouldn't see it as a victory for millions of homeowners. They would see it as this guy who they hate would get to, he would get credit for this, or that would embolden that show. Or the same amount of people are going to listen to us and be influenced by us no matter what happens with this. It doesn't matter. But these pea-brained, small-minded individuals down the street from us, they don't see it that way. All right, Kurt's next to the news, then we'll talk about lobbying.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
If you built a house, you'd start with a strong foundation, right? Now, if you want to build a financial game plan for retirement, you'd start with Social Security. That's the foundation, and here's why. The decision to file for Social Security could impact your taxes, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, spousal benefits, and even your Medicare premiums. Everything is impacted by Social Security. That's why it's critical you get this right.
Nobody knows Social Security like our guy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy. Bill is going to do customized. That's important. Customized Social Security analysis just for you. Everybody's different. He'll customize yours. And it's free. Absolutely free, even if you're not a client. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call our guy, Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Don't miss one of the hottest games this season for the final time.
Halliburton, the lob to the goal. Caught and dunked by Neesmith.
Catch the Pacers and Knicks in a special ticket offer.
Goes to the corner where Siakam takes it. Marches right down the right side and flushes it with the right hand.
Your Pacers are honoring Pascal Siakam's all-star selection with tickets starting at $4.30 for the Knicks game on Tuesday. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Knicks, $4.30 tickets for Tuesday at 7:30.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's approved, partially. It's 33 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. State lawmakers have approved a plan in a committee for property tax relief, although it's a scaled-down version. Even with the revenue impacted to the local governments lessened, Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora says he's still a no vote on it.
Because of a couple of provisions in the bill that impact our schools, and also to understand the impact to school district by school district.
The latest version retains relief for homeowners over age 65 and disabled veterans. The bill now heads to the full state Senate. Tulsi Gabbard may soon be confirmed by the full U.S. Senate to be National Intelligence Director.
Tulsi Gabbard clearing a key procedural vote after skeptical Republican Lisa Murkowski announced her intentions to vote for the Director of National Intelligence nominee's final confirmation. All Democrats voted against Gabbard, with some citing her refusal to call National Security Agency whistleblower Edward Snowden a traitor in a meeting she had with former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Stocks are slipping to start the day. The Dow is off 153 to 44,427. The NASDAQ down 142 to 21,703. And the S&P 500 is down 25 to 6,063. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Cold weather brings hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So get in on those hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 61,695. Offers good through February 28, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WYPC.
What influences you? Some people are influenced by personal or emotional factors, life experiences, possibly education, even psychological factors, and also, guess what, Rob? Money. Many people are influenced by money.
Yeah, boy, especially in the government, right, Casey?
Yeah. Well, especially here in the state of Indiana. So you've got corporations, companies, groups, advocates, all these different firms and other people collectively spending a lot of money attempting to influence our lawmakers.
They're called lobbyists.
That's what they're called.
And the Capitol Chronicle, and this just jives perfectly with what we were just talking about how you get screwed and a select group of people always seem to benefit. And lobbyists are the evil heart of all of this. And the Capitol Chronicle has an article out that said last year, lobbyists were paid or spent, the firms spent, lobbyists spent collectively $30 million. $30 million on the Indiana General Assembly. Now, a couple things stood out about this article. One, I believe every lawmaker that agreed to go on the record with the Capitol Chronicle had been there at least 23 years.
Yeah.
Some of these men and women had been there since the early 1980s, 40 plus years. And there's and what you realize in this article is, okay, you have all these people who have been there 25, 30, 40 years, institutionalists, who, well, the one guy, I think it was maybe Alting, was like, yeah, I take stuff from lobbyists. Yeah. It doesn't affect me at all.
He was right on. And he's the one who said that he wants it to be looser in the future.
I'm
like, loosen the rules.
So you have institutionalists. I mean, they're basically, my dad used to say this all the time. He was a federal law enforcement officer. And he used to say this all the time about the criminals that he would deal with, that so many of them were fine reoffending because they were more comfortable. They couldn't
Back in
exist.
jail.
They couldn't exist outside of the institution. And I think these lawmakers are the same way. They're such institutionalists, and they have so little world or orbit outside of the institution that they think the institution actually works. People like Ron Alting actually think the institution actually works, and they think it's fine that they take stuff from, well, I'm so great and I'm so big and I'm so above reproach, nobody would influence me. It's like the frog in the boiling pot of water. You've been being influenced for years, and I love this article. Oh, these lawmakers, they provide valuable service. They're policy experts on these topics. No, they're influence experts, you idiot. They're influencing you to do what they want that benefit their client, and they don't give two damns if it screws everybody else in the process.
That's true. So Alting said that he's calling for more relaxed rules around dinners and relationship building.
30. So think about what you're up against, right? Let's play out the property tax bill. Now, this wasn't so much as it was an organized. I mean, there were arms of people. But think about just with this property tax bill, we talked about the competitive advantage that our pal, Spend and Sue Finkham has, that she can just saunter on down to the State House, and that's my job. I'm getting paid to be here. Right. Or the mayor of Terre Haute, or these county council members, or whatever. You had to take a day off work. You had to ask your employer for time off. And what if they said no? Well, we didn't get to go speak because we were required to be here. Same thing with this. You have paid people who not only are being paid, but then they're not paying, but they're able to use financial mechanisms to and these are legal, right? Like the lawmakers have written this to where you can buy somebody something and it's fine. You can give them tickets to a Colts or a Pacers game. I'm going with my friend the lobbyist. Oh, I'm sure that it's a really fair fight that me, Joe Citizen, who's up against the lobbyist, who not only is a paid professional, who's in that State House 24/7, whose job it is to be there. Oh, but they can also wine and dine you at a Colts game. Yeah, that's really going to be a fair fight, right, Casey? Like, I really have the same chance.
Who are you going to listen to? Somebody who's taking you out to the ball game, taking you to dinner, telling you how fantastic you are, or the person who has nothing to offer you?
Now, the other side of this is these guys have an aneurysm over our radio show down the street from us. Like, they hate that we exist because we're influencing people. We're misinforming people. We're shock jocks. These lobbyists are like cockroaches living in that State House, and they don't care at all that that's taking place. They're living over the radio show influencing people, but these paid professional lobbyists who are buying steaks or tickets to get, that's fine to these. This article, everybody should go read this article after we get off the air at noon.
Was it like 219 million or something like that since 2019?
Oh yeah, it's a staggering,
the grand total.
It's a staggering number over the past 5 or 6 years that has been spent on lobbying. And if you look at it, it works. They do it because it works. You look at these industries: energy, healthcare, alcohol, gambling. All of these industries, special carve-outs, right? Special things for select people. It is truly an us versus them.
It's almost $200 million spent on lobbying since 2019. So you had $29 million, and then in 2020,
how much?
$29 million.
No, total,
almost $200 million. So in 2019, you had 29 million, then 26 million, 28 million, 28 million. 2023 was a big year for lobbying, 32 million. Last year, 29 million.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
So there's like a $500 threshold, and after that, you got to register as a lobbyist. And they've had over 1,000 employer lobbyists and 949 compensated lobbyists.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, this article is staggering on how these legislative lifers are. And I mean, look at the photos of these people that they're naming. They look like bad SNL characters. Like they're like old people characters on The Simpsons. And it's like they are institutionalists. That's what they are. They are no different than the people my dad used to talk about when I was a kid growing up, that they live for the institution. They live in the institution. They're 9 million years old. They've been there since the earth was young. Their whole pathetic sense of worth centers around being able to lord over other people. I mean, who is this? Vanita Becker from Evansville. She began in 1981. I was -3, Casey.
You weren't even born.
I'm a 40-plus-year-old man, and I was -3 when Methuselah started her legislative career.
She's been getting dinners and told how fantastic she is your entire life.
Anyway.
And no wonder they have these huge egos and narcissistic tendencies when there are people that are paid to go there and tell them how wonderful they are.
And I just, again, to come back, I love how they pass it up like, there's a lot of subject matter experts that are in lobbying, and they really know the stuff, and they're really giving us the view that we... My favorite thing was where he talked about, we're a part-time legislator. You're making $70,000 a year. What part-time job pays $70,000? Okay, so you're making $70,000, but you admit you're too stupid or uninformed to be a subject matter expert. What the hell are we paying you for?
You got to bring an expert in from the outside.
And then, you got to bring in experts, and then they try to act like these people are really giving me an unbiased view.
Sure
They're just giving me all the information that I can't give.
Of course they are.
I can't.
It's all baloney.
Kev, what time do we have to be out? Is it soon?
It's coming up. Okay, so we have quite a few guests coming up. Micah Beckwith, Lieutenant Governor, is going to join us.
The Democrats tried to fire him the other day. Did you hear that?
We're going to find out about that.
And then Daniel Elliott's going to join us at 10 to talk about how Braun's property tax plan could pass exactly as it was written, and everybody would be just fine if they wanted to do that, which they clearly don't. Then we got True Crime Tuesday.
And then it's True Crime Tuesday as well. So we have a lot of good stuff coming up. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Oh, man, we're going to have a fun Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon. We start at 3:06. Jeff Foxworthy scheduled to call in. We've got Jeff Boggs. We're going to have a lot of laughs today. 93 WIBC.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
For We Grow Hair Indy. Maybe you're one of these people that's been listening to our show today and you've actually pulled some of your hair out, or you're actually losing your hair because of these dirt balls in the General Assembly screwing you on property taxes. Well, it'd be a great time to head over there to We Grow Hair Indy, and well, you'll still be poor, but you'll get your confidence back. Call today, 317-522-2995. No reason to be poor and have no confidence. You might as well at least have your confidence back, even though you're getting screwed by the General Assembly. 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995. And you schedule that free consultation. They'll take a look at what's going on. They might say, don't pull your hair out anymore. You know you're going to get screwed. Just sit back and enjoy it, right? Anyway, regardless, Darren and the gang, they'll take a look at what you got going on, and they'll give you some choices, and then you can decide what's best for you. In the meantime, head over to WeGrowHairIndy.com, WeGrowHairIndy.com. You can see some other people who, despite getting screwed by the General Assembly, also chose to get their confidence back. Tell them Rob sent you.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
You got your book, baby, with all your fears. Oh, let me, honey, and I'll catch your tears.
It is Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Let's go to the WIBC hotline. He is the Lieutenant Governor for the state of Indiana. Micah Beckwith joins us now. All right, Beckwith, what's going on? Did the Democrats try to fire you from your job? You were all over the news. What happened?
Okay, so this was crazy. I loved it, man. I was like, this was the best thing ever. So we're in the Senate, and we're wrapping up the Senate hearing on, or the Senate debate on SB 289, which is Gary Burns' anti-DEI bill. And the Democrats are just blasting him. They're ripping him, calling him racist. They didn't call him that, but they basically were making the point that he's a racist. And so I text my campaign team and I just say, hey, listen, put out a tweet in support of SB 289 and Gary Burns, Senator Burns. And so they did, and they ripped DEI pretty hard in that tweet. And so I didn't see it. All of a sudden, I get one of the senators walks up to me with his phone. He's like, a Democrat senator, he's like, did you just post this? And I'm like, well, my campaign did, but, it's my personal page. It can, what's wrong with it? And he's like, I can't believe you would say these things. And so, well, I didn't think anything of it. Well, I see him down there sort of ginning up the Democrats. And as we're getting ready to call the vote, I'm up presiding over the Senate. The leader of the Democrat Party stands up and calls a point of order. I'm like, what's your point of order? And she said, you're out of order. And I'm like, what? For what? And she said, your social media. And I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. And I gavel her down. I said, no, I'm not. First of all, she can't call me out of order because I'm not a member of the Senate. By the rules, what she did was just wrong procedurally from the get-go. So I gavel her down. And then I think it was J.D. Ford. He challenged the ruling of the chair. So he stands up right away and challenges the ruling of the chair. At that point, I have to hand the gavel over to Senate Pro Tem Rod Bray. He comes up, and I think everyone's kind of like, what is going on? Like, what a Facebook post, a social media post? Like, what are you guys doing? And so then they have to then vote as a chamber whether or not I was out of order or not. And they voted, and I wasn't out of order. But the funny thing was, they also have to allow discussion. And so the Democrats got up, and I can't typically give my viewpoints in the chamber because I'm just the chair. I'm the referee. Well, Senator Hundley gets up and reads my entire post into the legislative record, and I'm thinking, this is awesome. I can share my viewpoints, and the Democrats are doing it for me. So it was great. I was a win-win all the way around. So,
I don't understand any of this, Mike. I don't understand what they're mad that you had a view on the bill. I don't even understand. This sounds like something out of Animal House.
That's what everyone's trying to figure out. No one understands. Everyone's kind of like, wait, what are you upset about? And he can't make a Facebook post? Like, that's just ridiculous. So there's no rules, there's no law. I think I heard somewhere that they were saying I violated the Hatch Act, which is a federal law for federal employees, not a state. it was nonsensical from the get-go. But I liked it. I thought it was great. It got my viewpoint right into the legislative record. I couldn't be happier. So.
Okay, so what? You're not facing charges for felonious actions. You're not. Nothing's going on. I mean, I'm not going to have to bail you out of an institution.
Well, I would
correctional facility.
I would say, I think we're good right now. They might try to pull some more shenanigans, but if you have to come bail me out, then I'm already screwed. I might as well just plead guilty. So.
Hey, real quick, we have to record these interviews with you because you're very busy and way too important now to talk to us. By the way, what's with this get with my scheduler stuff? I tried to schedule a lunch with you, and you're like, get with my scheduler. What is this?
Whoa, I do not remember. First of all, I don't remember saying that. Second of all,
you think the scheduler just found me? The scheduler fairy just started sending me messages like, what do you mean you don't remember this?
Wait. Did my scheduler reach out to you? And is that why you're upset?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm messaging you. You are my friend. I'm not going through a scheduler. Don't you agree with this, Casey? This is ridiculous.
Yes, but I'm curious who the scheduler is.
There's a scheduler.
Wow.
Somebody emailed me, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Well, he is very important. He is the lieutenant governor of the state.
So what? So am I. I'm number one. Hey, so you can just tell the scheduler no hard feelings, but I ain't going through the scheduler. I'm going to you. So you let me know when you want to do lunch.
Is his scheduler named Susan?
Hey, what does Thursday look like for you? Are we still on the air right now?
Hey, real quick, you're speaking at Hamilton Southeastern today. I can't believe they let you in the building.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, their superintendent's pretty strong leader over there. I think he's doing a good job, and so they reached out. Their school board is obviously they flipped it to a conservative school board a few years ago, and so they reached out after the whole Westfield debacle when Westfield so rudely disinvited me and treated me so poorly. They said, hey, we'd love to have you come and speak at our agriculture class and talk about agriculture with our kids. And so they reached out to me, and I listen, I'm happy to go talk about agriculture with the next generation. So yeah, we're going. Who would have thought, 5 years ago that Westfield would be the one getting all woke and HSC would be the one standing strong? I didn't see that one coming. So.
Yeah, but in fairness, didn't you make this superintendent miserable enough over there that he quit?
That's what I heard. A couple weeks later, he stepped down. I certainly haven't followed up with him or anything. He's probably not going to get a Christmas card from us. But,
well, I mean, you will have already been spoken. So if there's been an international incident there, we will know about it by the time this airs. But just look, I'm not going through a scheduler. So if you want to see me, you can just text me like friends that we are, and we'll do that. So tell the scheduler. I just stopped responding to her emails. Nothing against her. I'm sure she's wonderful. I'm not going through a scheduler.
Hey, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, I know you're really busy. I'm wondering if you could relay a message to your communications director.
Your husband?
That his wife had us a flat tire.
I will tell him. Are we still on air? I feel like
yes.
with Rob and
just roll with it.
Yeah.
Just roll with it.
We're normal people, Micah.
Yeah, we got issues. All right, Micah Beckwith, you're the best. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, guys. All right, we'll talk to you later.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, clock's ticking away, Valentine's Day shoppers. It's Terry Stacy, and for last-minute gifts, family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark makes it really easy. Cynthia's fragrant potpourri bouquets are beautiful, and they'll last forever and make a great decor piece for any home. Lots of plush, too, and the hottest plush on the market, Jelly Cat. Cynthia's always carries the softest, most lovable plush for kids of all ages. Cynthia's Spring Marabou lounge shirts and pants, silky smooth and come in beautiful patterns. Buy a pair of lounge pants for just $19.99 and get the lounge shirt for just $4.99, plus a wide selection of Demdeco jewelry and gifts, including the Art Heart Collection. Stunning and share a beautiful sentiment, perfect for those that you love. Speaking of jewelry, Cynthia's in Greenfield carries the most popular jewelry line in the country, gorgeous E. Newton jewelry. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark for the biggest selection of Valentine's Day gifts. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Hey, if you're feeling cold in your own home today, it could be because, well, your heart is cold because you got that knife stabbed in your back by the Senate Tax Committee this morning, gutting Senate Bill 1. But no need to stay that way. It could be you just need to repair your windows. So, see, it could be getting stabbed in the back, or it could be your windows. Either way, now is the best time to call Universal Windows Direct. They have a very, very fabulous deal going on right now, just in time for the big day. And what that means is Valentine's Day, right? For every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. You see how this works, right? You see how the deal goes down. UniversalWindowsDirect.com is the website. UniversalWindowsDirect.com is the website. And on top of that, you got 0% financing. That's right. Interest-free financing for 36 months. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the information, call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Schedule your free in-home estimate and check everything out on the web as well. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Your local news coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News on 93 WYBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Firings at FEMA. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Over money that was spent, not for disaster assistance in New York, where Fox's Nate Foy reports.
The Department of Homeland Security confirms that it has fired 4 workers for circumventing leadership and facilitating a $59 million payment from FEMA to New York City to take care of and house illegal migrants at hotels like the Row Hotel, where we are in New York City this morning. Now, the FEMA administrator confirms that those payments have already been suspended.
This the day after Trump-led Justice Department ordered a federal bribery and corruption case be dropped against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, a Democrat who's been cooperating with illegal immigration raids. And while Pope Francis condemns the deportation effort in the U.S., saying it'll end badly, more than 24 Christian and Jewish groups filed a lawsuit this morning challenging a Trump policy giving agents more ability to make arrests at churches and houses of worship. And they claim that's spreading fear and hurting church programs for migrants. It's one of many lawsuits against Trump executive actions recently. Republican Senator John Kennedy just told Fox.
But that's why God made courts of appeal. That's why God made the Supreme Court.
President Trump will soon host Jordan's King Abdullah at the White House. The day after warning Hamas, if all the hostages aren't released from Gaza by Saturday, all hell will break out. Adi Alexander, whose son Don is still being held captive, tells Fox.
We 100% support this claim. Everybody should be out at this point.
Vice President Vance is in Paris, where he warned at an AI summit against overregulating artificial technology, especially in Europe.
It would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations.
It's the vice president's first foreign trip since taking office. Same for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth visiting American troops in Stuttgart, Germany.
So I really want folks to see it as a back to basics and this reflection that in Washington, we want to have your back.
Secretary Hegseth will tomorrow be at NATO headquarters. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Initial approval. It's 34 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Lawmakers at the State House have given the first approval for a bill that would give you some property tax relief. It's a scaled-down version, quite significantly, of the plan put forth by Governor Braun. Even with that, Democrats like State Senator Fadi Kadora are still a no on it.
Because of a couple of provisions in the bill that impact our schools, and also to understand the impact to school district by school district.
It retains relief for homeowners over 65 and disabled veterans, as well as tax credits for first-time home buyers who meet certain income requirements. The bill now heads to the full state Senate. Southern parts of the state got hit with some freezing rain and even some snow last night. More of that is expected to hit the rest of the state by late tomorrow.
If you're in like Hamilton or Boone County or northern Marion County, that kind of thing, there's more of a concern of freezing rain up that way.
Mike Kosh with the National Weather Service. A third round may come in by Thursday also. What you're paying for eggs at the grocery store is going to stay high for now. Economists at IU say egg prices won't settle out until at least the summertime. The spike in egg prices is due to an outbreak of bird flu at a farm near Seymour, where 2 million birds had to be killed recently. After Sunday's game, you may be wondering if Indianapolis will ever host a Super Bowl again. Harrison Silcox reports.
Getting to host the big game a second time is likely to be a tough task for the capital city, says Gary Digg with Inside Indiana Business.
The city officials, local officials have not ruled it out. I think a lot of people are questioning whether that will happen. Probably, perhaps not.
Dick tells WIBC's Tony Katz that Indy still has a good relationship with the NFL, and it's placed a couple of bids to potentially host a future NFL draft. Indianapolis still hosts the Combine, at least through 2026, but city leaders are hoping to extend that contract with the league. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Purdue takes on Michigan tonight in men's college hoops. If Purdue wins, they will have a good shot at grabbing the outright lead in the chase for a Big Ten championship. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There is a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate. Call my agent, Mark Dietel. Maybe you want a guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel's the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Greg and Franklin said this: my tenant moved out of my investment property and I was ready to sell. I heard about Mark on the radio and everything they say is true. In 15 days on the market, I had a cash offer I wanted on the property. Selling with Mark Dietel was fast, easy, and profitable. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, as usual, we've got to solve everybody's problems for them.
Is that what we're doing here?
Well, that's what we do. I mean, we should be able to write this show off on our taxes as charitable giving because we're finding the solutions that other people can't. Well, actually, we're using other people to find solutions and taking the credit for it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I think somebody else has found a solution.
But I'm, you know me, I'm not above just pointing out that somebody else has done some work and then saying, hey, listen to that person, and then getting a ratings point out of it.
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time talking about property taxes, and we've heard from a lot of the local governments how, oh, no, we can't afford policemen or firemen or the children will suffer. But one man has come up with a solution. One man.
It's like a Marvel comic.
Yes.
It's like a Marvel comic.
It sounds like it should be an action movie, right? One man.
Yes, he has come up with a solution he thinks it would make everyone happy. Recently voted by the Kendall and Casey show as the most handsome man in the Indiana State House.
Yes,
the state treasurer, Daniel Elliott, is here. Congratulations on your prestigious award, by the way.
Well, I appreciate it. It's about the only one I'm ever going to get, but okay.
You know what it comes with? It's like a Coke and a smile. That's about it.
There you go. Well,
okay, so tell us about Trust Indiana and why this could be the solution to everybody's heartache as it relates to Braun's property tax bill.
Well, Trust Indiana is a really great program, but I want to back up for 1 second to show and kind of give the idea of why this came around. So,
did you invent this?
No, Trust Indiana's been around for a few years, but it has some limitations, and so I wanted to explain. That's why I want to explain something first. So, one of the things, I'm an engineer, software engineer by trade, so I'm about fixing problems. You know, it's like, okay, we can argue all day long, but let's just tackle the problem, figure out how to fix it. One of the issues that has happened in a positive way is over the last couple of years that I've been treasurer, we've been able to utilize our investments. I am the chief investment officer of the state.
That's what you do.
That is what I do.
You invest my money.
I do, because by investing your money, then I don't have to raise taxes on you or Casey.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that.
And that's the idea.
Do your colleagues in the State House know that? Sometimes I don't think they get that memo.
Well, they got the memo a couple weeks ago because I presented something to them.
Well, there was a memo.
There was. Well, it was a presentation, but
very good.
And here's what that was. So I came to them during budget hearings. Usually you go to budget hearings and you're asking for money. The nice thing about my role is I'm the guy coming and giving money.
Oh, that's how exciting! You're like Santa Claus.
Well, so. In this particular case, I presented to them that the first fiscal year that I was treasurer of the state of Indiana, I had raised $541 million in revenue. That's $500 million.
That's how you take the money, you invest the money, all the taxes get collected, and before they get spent, then you're investing the money.
Investing it so that we can save tax dollars.
Very good. Okay.
Now, this particular, this fiscal year we're in now, we are projected to make $575 million. So that's over $1 billion in investments over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why that's good is if you actually compare the previous 10 years, combined, the previous 10 years was only $363 million. Now,
what are you, like some sort of Gordon Gekko? Like, how are you pulling this off?
Well, we're taking advantage of the markets. That's really what it is.
So what, you're just investing in high interest rates?
We're investing in things like treasury notes. We're investing in bonds, but we're also investing in commercial paper. And commercial paper is basically we get to invest in the Googles and the Toyotas of the world when they need cash. And so we're able to use these tools to be able to help them get cash.
Now, when you say, I don't mean to interrupt, but when you say commercial papers, you're not talking like Dunder Mifflin paper.
No.
You're talking about like companies.
Talking about companies.
Okay.
Yes.
So Daniel Elliott's our guest. He's the state treasurer. He's got this fabulous idea on how to make everybody happy. And you can get your property tax relief, and the local governments won't have to fire any police or firemen. Okay, so that's it. So you've made us $1 billion.
So I've made us $1 billion in the last 2 years. Now, we have a program called Trust Indiana that allows local units of government to invest the way we do through the state. Your local units of government don't have the ability to have the same tools for investment that we do as a state. And so with that being the case, if they use Trust Indiana, they have access to those tools. And what that means is they get a better return. Now, unfortunately, when this program was created a number of years ago, they decided to say, well, when I say they, the banking lobby said, hey, you know what? We only want half that money to be able to be invested. The rest of it has to be parked in banks.
Okay, so we started our show today talking about how much money gets spent on lobbying and what a bunch of dirty, rotten scoundrels the lobby industry is. And I'm sure there's some very nice lobbyists in there, but the reality is they're not running soup kitchens. They have vested interests and outcomes they want. And so what you're saying is, as part of the banking lobby, they wanted money invested in a certain way that benefits them, and the lawmakers were like, well, sure, Beeve, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
That was before my time, but yes, that is essentially what happened. So what I'm proposing, and I've given this to folks at the State House, Travis Holman, Rod Ray, Jeff Thompson, Craig Snow. What I'm proposing is remove the restriction. Just as simple as that.
So that would allow the local governments to invest with Trust Indiana.
That would allow, local governments can invest in Trust Indiana, but it would allow Trust Indiana to actually have a diversified portfolio. Instead of parking all of that money in banks, half of it has to be in banks.
So basically, and this goes back to where we started the show today, which is the banking lobby wanted these lawmakers to do something that benefited them. These lawmakers, either because they don't have the, and by the way, as you know how this works, like I say things and then you can go, well, I'm not saying that, but
I'm
you're
not
saying
going to say that. I'm sure you're going to say
lawmakers,
it.
because either they don't have the mental capacity to push back on it or the political will to push back on it, or like, I'm not taking on the banking lobby. That sounds good. And you're kind of saying, well, whatever or however or why ever it was set up like that, that's not necessarily the most beneficial thing to these municipalities.
Exactly. And more importantly, it's not the most beneficial thing to taxpayers.
Yeah. Right.
Because if you start to look at this and you start to say, you know, we know there's a lot of pressure being put on taxpayers, on homeowners. We know there's a lot of pressure that is possibly with these bills going through, they'll be put on local units of government. All these things are true. But here's the thing I'll say. Now, as you guys know, I'm a horseman. I got my cowboy boots on all the time. When I'm riding a horse and that horse starts to buck and kick, I have to release some pressure so that he can relax, so he can figure things out. The same thing goes for our taxpayers. And this allows us to release some of that pressure. Now, it's going to depend on every unit of government, how much money that would be. But if you're a small community like North Vernon, where I grew up, that may be a police car.
Yeah.
If you're a bigger community, that may be courthouse renovations.
Right.
I mean, all varies depending on the market, depending on investments. And let's be honest, when we are investing our own money, if we have good years, we're like, oh, wow, okay, I can spend a little extra. Oh, I've got a tight year. I got to tighten the belt a little bit. And this just allows local governments to respond the same way we as a state have. We over the last 2 years have been able to raise $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now imagine being able to say to a small town, all right, we're going to give you all those tools. Because right now we're saying, yeah, we're not going to give all of it to you because we got to give some of it to these private entities.
Yeah, they at one point in Warehouseburg, where I live over on the west side, they had, I don't know if the guy screwed up and said it accidentally, didn't mean to say it, whatever, but he talked about the millions of dollars they have just sitting in some sort of bank account. And let's say it's getting 5% interest. Well, if you can get 7 with the tools that you give them,
exactly,
you know, that's a lot of money.
That is. Well, I will give you real numbers. I know a particular, I won't name the city, a particular city that a bank said to them when they went to the bank, hey, can you hold our money for us? And it was going to be 3.75% interest rate, but the market rate at the time was 5.38.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by using tools like Trust Indiana, it's not going to solve every problem, but it's going to allow governments to raise revenue without raising
You have
taxes.
an estimate of how much money you think the local governments might be able to?
It depends on every local government is a different size. Carmel, much larger. We're talking millions for Carmel. If you're talking Alexandria, Indiana, much smaller.
But it's an economy of scale.
Absolutely.
The air quote need for that community is markedly different.
100%. 100%.
So what's the pushback? What is it? Why would anybody not be for this, other than the banking lobby? Which, see, we started our show with this today.
No, let's just put it this way: I am not the most popular person with the Bankers Association right now.
So it is basically these banking lobbies want something done a certain way that benefits their clients, and it's not of a benefit to the taxpayers. And these politicians got to have the political will to change the system to benefit the taxpayer over the lobbyist.
But here's what I will tell you now, and I will give folks like Travis Holman a lot of credit right now. They're talking to me about this. I'm showing them the numbers. They are listening. So I know it's easy to say, oh, the politicians aren't listening. Well, the members of the General Assembly, I've talked to dozens and dozens of them, and they like this idea. They want the numbers. I've been presenting them the numbers. I've been sharing with them the information. So obviously this is a process, but right now they're listening. They want to hear this information. So what I'm hoping is this will be put into an amendment, and really the amendment's pretty simple. just strike the restriction.
Yeah. State Treasurer Daniel Elliott is joining us. You talked about the process, so we're not talking about this session. We're talking about possibly.
Oh, no, I'm talking this session.
Really?
Oh,
you
yeah.
think that this is something that could happen soon?
I am pushing for this session.
What is the risk?
The risk is local units of government make more money.
Well, that doesn't sound like a risk to me. How about you?
Well, it's where we're always on the cutting edge of society. We started today talking about the lobbyists and how it screws the people, and the smartest man in the state house is over here.
You know, but here's the great thing about it. You know, I am the state's banker. There are lots of opportunities for us to be able to help them with many different programs. You know, we want all of our businesses to grow. We want our communities to grow. It just can't be on the backs of taxpayers.
He is the most handsome man in the state house, probably the smartest man in the state house.
I was going to say, and he's the smart. He's like a triple
You're
threat.
you're like a five-tool player. If you were in professional baseball, we'd label you a five-tool prospect. You really check all the boxes.
I'm a cowboy. I know nothing about sports.
Perfect. Way to endear yourself to the public. Daniel Elliott.
If we were doing a schoolyard pick,
Yeah.
I would pick him for
Oh,
my
we already
team.
knew that. We made that abundantly clear. Yeah, you're the best, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, that makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Terry Stacy for Cardwell Do It Best Home Center, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side. Your discount roofing headquarters. Stop in for wholesale and factory direct pricing on the roofing shingles and supplies you need at the price you love. They offer dimensional and 3-tab shingles at low prices. Cardwell also carries a full line of best look quality paints produced by Sherwin-Williams, America's largest paint manufacturer, with paint and primer all in one. Cardwell also carries a full line of Hillman fasteners, and for winter, snow shovels, rock salt, and ice melter all in stock. At Cardwell Do It Best, you'll also find a full line of lawn and garden supplies, plumbing, electrical, with lumber and building materials too. Cardwell Home Center. Shop online at cardwellhomecenter.com with over 67,000 products available and free shipping to the store. Cardwell Do It Best, 3205 Madison Avenue, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side, serving the greater Indianapolis community since 1945.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
I had changed the locks, didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Kendall and Casey present True Crime Tuesday on 93 WIBC.
Casey, it's that time.
It is True Crime Tuesday when we take a look at some infamous, crime that has happened. And today We're going to deal with something that was local in 1977.
Yeah, and to help us tell the story, our old pal, you know him many years. There's the news director here at WIBC, now a freelance journalist extraordinaire, the great Chris Davis, joins us on the WIBC hotline. All right, Chris, tell us the story of Marjorie Jackson.
So this one was back in the 1930s when Chester Jackson, Marjorie's husband, owned a grocery store chain called the Standard Grocery Company. Now, he got rich, as a lot of people did, because this was a time when grocery stores were kind of coming into their own with freezers and air conditioning and all of that technology that made fresh foods available for, lots more people than they could be before. And so he was one of the people who took advantage of that and made a killing. I don't want to.
Easy.
I don't want to make a pun there.
Easy.
But yeah, easy. Back in I guess it was 1971, he passed away. He died and left his wife something like $14 million. Now that was a lot of money. It's a lot of money now, but it was a lot of money then.
Yeah, that would be like almost equivalent to $100 million today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a ridiculous amount of money. So Marjorie Jackson, she deposited a lot of that money, and somehow it got around that she had this money and where her address was. And, when you're rich and you that gets around, it attracts a criminal element. And so she ended up being the victim on several occasions of some robberies and break-ins. This was Marjorie's thing. She was a recluse. She lived on Spring Mill Road, and she just kind of stayed in the house. She didn't like to come out. And like I said, it got around that she had this money. She had bonds. She had cash, and people would break in there and steal these piddling amounts. When I say piddling amounts, I mean $160,000 was one of those break-ins. She went missing.
Chris Davis, the former WIBC news director, is our guest, now freelance journalist. We're reliving here on True Crime Tuesday the story of Marjorie Jackson. So I think that's the intrigue with people, right, is that she didn't basically believe in banks. She kept all of this stuff on her person, and she kept getting things stolen from her and yet seemingly did nothing about it.
That's right. She didn't press charges whenever the police told her, look, you need to take care of this. Somebody embezzled from one of her accounts in 1976, $700,000, and she did not take care of it. So she appeared at a bank. It was in 1976, somewhat before she went missing, and withdrew $1 million. Of course, that's going to draw attention. She started withdrawing more money, and over 4 months, she withdrew about $8 million.
And she scattered that money around her house, right? Sometimes even wrapped it up into little presents with notes that said, "To Jesus Christ from Marjorie Jackson."
That was nice of her. I'm sure Jesus appreciated that.
She was tithing.
I'm tithing, but it's going nowhere.
Right.
So how does it get to Jesus? I don't know if she expected it to disappear one day and reappear in heaven, but it did not. And so, of course, she went missing in 1977.
So, Chris, did people I mean, obviously, look, there's something a little off about someone or a lot off about somebody who behaves in this manner, but was she ever diagnosed with anything? Did people have any idea what sort of affliction, other than clearly paranoia of some sort, that this woman suffered from?
Well, a lot of people who get rich become recluses. You think about Howard Hughes, who was actually down with syphilis. Whenever he became a recluse, he was embarrassed about being in public. But to my knowledge, she was just a recluse who did not want to be out in public, and probably was somewhat scared that if she did, that she would be in danger. Although she, it's kind of the antithesis of what she was doing with not pressing charges with the people who took advantage of her.
All right, so let's talk about, by the way, if I ever become that rich, everybody's going to know it, and they're going to feel the pain, Casey. They're going to feel the pain, baby. All right, so talk about the disappearance, because then obviously this leads up to her death. Tell us about her disappearance.
Howard Willard and Manuel Lee Robinson. They robbed her in 1977 of about $160,000, came back 2 days later And apparently when they did, they surprised her and killed her. And that is when she disappeared. There was a fire in the house, and they were trying to cover up their crime with that fire, but it smoldered for a good while. Jackson's body was eventually discovered when firemen came. So she wasn't missing for long. Police found $5 million in cash in the house. They got several million dollars after the robbery. But who did disappear for a lot longer were Willard and Marjorie Pollock. Those were the crooks, and they were found finally in Tempe, Arizona. Police found them trying to buy a motorhome with the money from the robbery.
Well, it's interesting because it seems like everybody was trying to steal a little bit from her. I mean, somebody embezzled money out of the bank. You had multiple break-ins, people trying to rob her, and even an FBI agent who was working the case ended up taking a little bit of that cash.
Well, this was a lot of money to go around, like we were saying to begin with. You talk about $14 million back then and what it would be now. Can you imagine the level of temptation?
Well, and I think that's what's so fascinating to so many people, especially our, Central Indiana lifers, longtime residents who know about this story, maybe not in great detail, but some of it, is the fact that she never did anything about it. And even if you weren't going to, report it to the police or take criminal action, wouldn't you secure your residence with some sort of fortress? And these people just kept coming back and taking things over and over and over from her again, Chris.
You can take a look at the house on the internet. It's not hard to find if you Google it. If you Google Marjorie Jackson, Indianapolis. Now, it's a nice house, and it's a stone house, but it is not one of those that I would say, was one of those houses that look like somebody really, really, really rich lives here. Like you were saying, Rob, a house with, maybe a big gate and a security fence. They had those back then. They had pretty good security, but she didn't have it, apparently.
What are you doing now, Chris Davis? Like, how do you tell us what you're doing these days? Because we miss you here at WIBC.
I miss being there. I came back to my home state of Mississippi to help out with some family matters when we left Indianapolis back at the end of 22. And right now I am doing radio news remotely for radio stations in Arizona, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Mississippi.
All right, Chris, keep up the good work. We always love having you on True Crime Tuesday, and we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Yeah, you guys call me up and jog my memory again, please.
Sounds good. It's True Crime Tuesday on 93 WIBC.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Committee approval. It's 33 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. That's what was given to a property tax relief plan in the State House this morning. A significantly scaled back version of the bill passed the Senate's Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee. It still freezes local property taxes paid in calendar year 2026, as well as gives extra relief for homeowners over the age of 65. European countries may retaliate against new tariffs likely to be rolled out by President Trump. Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Trade ministers from across Europe will hold an unscheduled video conference tomorrow. The topic, the European Union's response to impending U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. President Donald Trump yesterday signed proclamations raising tariffs on those imports to 25%. The EU warns this won't go unanswered and is promising countermeasures. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
President Trump is set to meet with the King of Jordan today. The meeting with King Abdullah II comes after the president floated a controversial proposal to take over the Gaza Strip and resettle Palestinians. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The 30th Annual Indiana Motorcycle and Power Sports Expo is back and better than ever. February 14th through 16th and 19th through 23rd at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Featuring the Midwest's largest selection of motorcycles, side-by-sides, ATVs, gear, accessories, and more. Plus, Bikers Showcase, Tiny Tots Riding Adventure, and the pioneers of Hoosier Motorcycling. Your ticket also includes admission to the Ford Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show. Visit IndySportShow.com, another Renfro production.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. You know, we love Life Church. We talk all the time about the amazing impact they've had on my life and my family's life. And I'll tell you what, they got something really cool going on with Life Church February 21st and 22nd. It's the marriage conference at their Noblesville campus. And it might be a great way for you to show the one you love that you're committed to that relationship. Life Church has an awesome website, lifechurchin.com, where you can learn more about their 4 locations across central Indiana, their incredible online services, all the things going on at Life Church, like the marriage conference. Lifechurchin.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen Report.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails.
That is the most perfect phone call ever, and it is everything we've been telling our audience today. That is amazing.
Yeah.
That went exactly as I thought it was going to go.
So we got a voicemail, which we're going to play here momentarily. And One-Eyed Sue called. She had a lot on her mind today, so I actually put them all together into one long phone call.
One-Eyed Sue, as opposed to Spendin' Sue Finkham.
Different woman altogether.
The high-spending mayor of Carmel.
Yeah.
So obviously the Republican senators in the tax committee took a giant middle finger and jammed it right between your eyes this morning, gutting the property tax bill, taking away the 2021 bill reset. We told you they were going to do it. These people hate you. We've been telling you this for 8 years, how much they despise you, and they want you to suffer, and they see you as nothing but a piggy bank for their large-scale spending apparatus. And we've been telling people, hey, you've now got to take control of the situation by calling and emailing your senators.
Yeah.
And we said, all you have to do is go to Google. If you don't know who your senator is, type in Google, right at the top, who is my Indiana state senator? And there's a link that'll pop up. Put your address in. There's the person. So, Casey, I sent an email. I'll read my email in a second.
Okay.
But you called,
Well,
and this went exactly as you would think it would go.
So One Night Sue called us. She listens to the show all the time, which we appreciate. Thank you for doing that. And she called and she wanted to give the phone number if people wanted to call their senator. Well, before we broadcast that, I wanted to call and check her work, just make sure it was the correct number, which it was. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to call and leave my message while I'm here. And, of course, they put me on hold.
So it was on hold. Then a lady answers the phone after probably 2 minutes.
Right. And she asked me who my state senator was. And I told her it's Andrea Hunley. And she said, okay, I believe Tracy is her L.A. legislative assistant. She'll be with you in a moment. And I thought I was put back on hold, but instead I was hung up on.
So this was the best thing ever. So the lady goes, okay, I'll transfer you over to her. Okay, fine. But then there's no music. There's nothing. And so finally Casey's sitting there. And I'm like, Casey, is your phone even still connected? And you're like, no, they hung up on me. No. So let's review, right? Like how do you even contact these people? Because I sent my email and I get an automated response, which I'm sure will be ignored in the order it's received. You call. You're wasted 5 minutes of your day only to be hung up on. These people hate you.
Yeah.
I cannot articulate to you enough how much these people actually hate you. They showed you again today. Everything we've been telling you for 8 years on this radio station, it's all playing out right here this morning.
All right. Well, let's get to that phone number if you want to give it a shot.
Call information for the Senate call center. The number is 800-382-9467. The nice people on that line will direct you to your correct senator, and you can leave them a message.
Or hang up on you.
It said it was a 19-minute wait when I was on there, but it was only 2 minutes when I really sat on hold. I'm wondering why Braun can't get his own Elon Musk in this state and get our own Doge group to start auditing these local governments. If they've got enough money to mess around and spend that much on a swimming pool, can you imagine the real waste that's going on that's tucked away and hidden from the public of where their money's going? If they're going to publicly announce they spent that much on a swimming pool, come on, Indiana, wake up. Start looking into these local governments, see where they're messing with your money. Rob, you called it, dude, and I really hate to say you're right. You and my husband, I don't like to admit you both are right, but you're right, Rob. They're going to screw us out of any kind of decrease in our property taxes. We need to get in there, Indiana, and vote these idiots out of there. If they can't help us, we're not going to help them. Come on, Indiana, wake up. Get people in there that really worry about your pocketbook and not special interests. And I cannot believe they cannot find any money in these budgets of these local governments. From the past few years, they've had a windfall of money due to these raised in real estate tax or property values. So don't tell me you don't have any extra money because you've been getting it for the last few years.
So I go to the, you say, hey, just Google it. Who's my rep? And I did it, and I went through the Find Your Legislator, and I got to be honest with you. I don't feel like I'm being represented very well.
You don't say.
Because listen to this. My state senator, Democrat, Andrea Hunley. My state rep, Democrat, Justin Moed. My federal rep, Democrat, Andre Carson. And then my two senators, Todd Young and Jim Banks.
Yeah. I mean, look, we said this earlier. Whether this bill passes or not, I mean, people always do he's doing this for ratings. He's just a shock jock. No, we've been number one here for a long time, and that ain't going to change. We aren't doing this for anything other than you. We aren't doing this for anything other than you because we love you. Casey and I love you, and we feel an obligation to fight for you. We played that. Kev, can you find that clip that we played last week of Jim Cornette talking about the two guys fighting on the side of the road? Because I think that'd be perfect to play again and talk about why we fight for you. Do you have this? All right. So we played this last week, and it was like the most perfect analysis of why we do what we do here. And it was by the guy by the name of Jim Cornette. He's a wrestling historian, but in so many ways, wrestling mirrors sort of like the fabric of the country from the 20th century on. And he's talking about why people watch wrestling and why people are willing to suspend reasonable disbelief to engage in wrestling because of the bigger implication of what those two guys in the ring actually mean. And I thought it was the perfect thing for our show because we are the little guy on the side of the road and the government is the big guy, and we are the voice for you that you don't have, and that's why you cheer for us.
You drive down the side of the road. You see two guys on the side of the road in a heck of a fight. You want to pull over and see what's going to happen, right? And there's a big guy and a little guy. And that big guy is wailing on that little guy, and you're like, boy, he's getting the kicked out of him, but that big guy, he looks too big for me, so I'm not going to mess with this. But then, because you're a human, and it's human nature, the little guy comes up off the shoulder of the road and starts firing back. And the big guy's getting the kicked out of him, and then you're going, yeah, hit him again. Because you don't know who these people are, but you see it, you get with it. Now imagine if you know that little guy, who he is, and that you like him, and that he's your hero, and that big guy, what a he is. He's an asshole. He says horrible things to everybody. I hope he gets the kicked out of him. Now, instead of just driving down the road and stopping, you might want to pay $5 or $10 or whatever it is to see that fight, to see whether the little guy can kick the out of the big guy and get even for you.
And that's us. And to those people down the street from us who still don't get it, that's why people listen to us every day. Because we are the fighter for those people. We are that voice. These people count on us, and that's why we fought on this. That's why we fought on this. We're not getting screwed. We're going to be here, and we're going to be number one whether this thing passes or not. The people are who are getting screwed. The regular people who go work their asses off every single day, who have to pay for this crap like a $55 million swimming pool in Carmel or a $58.5 million taxpayer-funded hotel, or all the things we lay out every day on the people who are getting their backs broke, who are struggling to get by. And these legislators have a moderate. Braun's proposal is a moderate proposal to help targeted people who need the help. And they took a giant dump all over that today. They took a dump on you.
Yeah, the rate reset is really disappointing. So again, the number 1-800-382-9467 if you would like to reach your representation. You want to read?
Yes, I sent my my email, which I'm sure will be ignored in the order in which it was received, or he'll use.
Oh, I got hung up on.
Well,
so can't get worse than that.
I got an auto response. Big Tax Brett Clark. Now, Big Tax Brett, in fairness, and I put this in the email, he sent me remember we talked about this. He sent me all those flyers when he was running about how he's for lowering taxes. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine that he's going to tolerate this, right? I mean, if you're for lowering taxes,
sure.
He's not going to take this sitting down. All right, here's what I said. Senator Clark, I am writing you to voice my extreme displeasure with the tax committee gutting Senate Bill 1 this morning. I am asking that you please amend the bill to reestablish, as it was written, with reset to 2021 bills. You campaigned, in parentheses, I got the flyers, on lowering taxes. This bill does not do that as it is now constructed. It actually raises taxes. Please be a man of your word and support actual property tax reform by amending the bill to reset property tax bills to 2021 rates.
Perfect.
I mean, that's as nice and as polite as a human being can possibly be. So here's the good thing about this, right? And I was talking with some of Braun's people. Braun's not giving up. He's going to keep fighting for this. They did it in the beginning. They did it at the start of the game.
Rather than at midnight.
So now we can make their lives a living hell for the next 2 months. When you see these people at a Wendy's, at a Walmart, at a gas station, you can go up peacefully and obeying all applicable laws, rules, and regulations. Give these dirtballs a piece of your mind. You can ruin their day every day for the next 2 months. They could have strung us along until midnight the day session ends and changed it in a conference committee. We still have a chance. It's early in the game, and you got to engage like you've never engaged before. These people hate you. You have to hate them more than they hate you.
We don't hate him. Hammer is going to join us next on 93 WIBC.
Oh, man, we're going to have a fun Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon. We start at 3:06. Jeff Foxworthy scheduled to call in. We've got Jeff Boggs. We're going to have a lot of laughs today. 93 WIBC.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today. Recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There's a friendly, no pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate, Mark Deedle. Maybe you want guaranteed no hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Crystal in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I was moving to Kentucky and needed to move fast. I got the Mark Deedle marketing plan and was blown away. The plan worked. I got a full list price offer in the first weekend. Just like that, Mark and his team got it done. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details or go online to markdeedle.com. It's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We've recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of, why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Show your true love and spoil her with that special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
There he is from the #1 rated
Screw
hammer.
these Republicans, Casey. What in the hell is going on with these wishy-washy, squish-ass Republicans?
Yeah!
Man, I woke up in a good mood today. You know, I feel pretty good. Lost poundage, got a haircut. I'm feeling pretty good.
Good night's sleep.
Coming here today.
Yeah.
And as a homeowner whose home is paid for.
Same.
I get nothing. I get Willy Wonka. You get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. And it's these wishy-washy, squish-ass Indiana Republicans that screwed me.
Yeah, I've got the list of the tax committee here. If you
name names,
if you want it here, hang on here. I got to pull this up. Oh yeah,
name every one of these dirtbags. Every one of them.
Yeah, they All right, here we go. Let's see. It's Travis. Now, keep in mind they basically sided with the Democrats on this committee.
Sure,
that's what the Democrats wanted, and then. The Democrats are like, we're not even voting for this bill anyway. Thanks for giving us what we wanted. Now, screw you guys. We're voting against this.
Right.
Let's see. Travis Holdman, Scott Baldwin, Brian Buchanan, Chris Garton, Mike Gaskell, Tyler Johnson, Ryan Mishler, Rick Niemeyer, Linda Rogers, Kyle Walker.
So if your name is on that list or somebody that works with these people, because I know you're probably listening, you better reach out to Rob or myself right now and tell us, hey, this wasn't us. Tell us who it was, because you're all in the same group right now, and we're going to put your damn name everywhere we can find it. Maybe it doesn't change anything, but I want everybody to know that follows the biggest, most powerful signal in the state of Indiana, who these turds are that ran on property tax relief and screwed you over.
Yeah, let's read those names again, because, look, there's no way at this. Look, Travis Holdman is next to Bray, maybe he runs the tax and fiscal policy committee. He's probably the second most powerful senator in the state. It's his bill. There's no way he tried to whip. There's no way he tried to get it. There's no way that if he wanted this,
who bought and paid for him?
Well, this is the question. So it's Travis Holdman, Scott Baldwin, Brian Buchanan, Chris Garden, Mike Gaskell, Tyler Johnson, Ryan Mishler, Rick Niemeyer, Linda Rogers, Kyle Walker. And here's what's really frustrating about this and why I know they didn't want it to pass. I can't tell you the amount of times over the past month and a half I've tried to reach out to these people and said, you tell us what you need. Who's the on the fence setter? Who's the person that's wishy-washy? Who do we need to email? I couldn't get a response from these people.
Nothing.
I know directly people in the State House reached out to these people, said, Rob wants to talk to you. Oh, no, I can't do that. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. They wanted this to happen. They wanted this to happen, and they wanted you to get screwed.
It was the biggest issue, I think, in the gubernatorial and election cycle this past year. And a lot of these down ballot Republicans, and this is who we're talking about, were hitching their wagon to tax relief. Right.
People voted for them based on that.
And this is what we get in return.
Because none of them, when Braun was running, said, ooh, that seems like a really radical plan. I mean, Braun ran on this plan. No, and the fact that none of them publicly said anything while Braun was touring the state, was doing the state of the state, they all stood up and clapped when he mentioned it, the state of the state. None of them had the you-know-whats to say, man, the Carmel's not getting enough money. We can't take any money from Carmel. But here's the good thing is they did it early. They have so little self-control that instead of letting the thing run through the process and gutting it at the last minute, they've given us 2 months to just make their lives hell. They've really done us in a sense of favor because now we can devote every day to publicly shaming these people.
And if I'm Governor Braun, I'd take a page out of the DeSantis playbook right now and you go scorched earth on these people. Because that's what Ron DeSantis did in Florida when there were some folks that wanted to do things the old way, and Ron didn't play that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope that Governor Braun has got that fire in his belly to do the same thing here.
The headlines are misleading because you'll read that Governor Braun's property tax bill passed committee.
Right.
It's not his bill anymore.
Exactly.
It's not his bill anymore.
I saw that on social
Different
media.
bill.
Property tax passes through. Oh, great. We're getting relief.
Yeah.
No, only a certain few people over 65, disabled veterans, first-time homeowners, everybody else, here's 2 big middle fingers for you.
Yeah, it's...
you don't get that rate reset.
Yeah, and the bad news is... It will go to the House. Let's say it gets to the Senate. Now there's an amendment process in the Senate. They could gut it further. Then it goes to the House. They don't want to do anything with it. These people hate your guts, and you got to now get just as nasty with them as they're getting with you.
Take a screenshot of every one of those names or type it out, whatever you want to do. Put it on Twitter. I'll retweet it.
Yeah.
And I want everybody, once you get it up, let your audience know, retweet the people that screwed you.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to know who screwed them.
It's so disappointing, too, because the people are overwhelmingly behind this. It's literally just the local government people, and they're choosing the local government people over their constituents. That's what's so disheartening.
So for all the haters that say WIBC never criticizes Republicans, get ready, pal, because today, in the next couple of days, put your big boy pants on.
And you're the most spiteful, petty person I know. You're the last person I would want mad at me.
Like, I am so ticked off right now. Like, I am so furious.
What are you doing this afternoon?
Well, man, we're going to try to have as many laughs as we can, considering this crap. Jeff Foxworthy scheduled to join us.
Cool.
Jeff Boggs, not Kenny Rogers. But we're talking about weak-ass Republicans all afternoon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. If your garage floor looks bad with stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your entire garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job or chipping paint makes your garage or basement look worse. With one quick call to 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, I can save you $1,000 on a new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor during our winter sale. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating is the gold standard. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross garage floor won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. What's the Comer & Cross difference? We make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. In one day, you will love your gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor just in time for spring. Call us right now for $1,000 in savings during our winter sale. Operators are standing by now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. February is a short month, and if you haven't looked at your calendar yet, it ends on February 28th, which, coincidentally, is the last day that you can save 60% off all window styles from Window Nation. Plus, you can get 0 interest with no payments for 2 years. But now only through the end of February. That's less than 28 days to save big on some of the best windows you could buy. Less than 28 days to get windows that will protect your home and family for decades. Less than 28 days to get a quote on the windows that are going to stop the drafts and leaks and save you money on utility bills every month.
This February, you could miss Groundhog's Day and maybe even Valentine's Day. But do not miss your chance to save 60% off all windows and pay nothing for 2 years only from Window Nation. Schedule that free in-home consultation right now by calling 866-90-NATION or visiting windownation.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
For New Year's, I wanted to try Ozempic, Wegovy, or other GLP-1 medications everyone's talked about. I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text DATE to 200-300 to get started this New Year's with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90% less. 100% online. Don't wait. Text DATE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text DATE to 200-300. DATE to 200-300.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a big bill gets initial approval from state lawmakers this morning. Plus, Ryan Hedrick reports on the winter weather that's on the way to the state. And the man in charge of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway will soon be in charge of IndyCar as well. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
A first in the second Trump presidency. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An Arab leader will go to the White House this hour, and Jordan's King Abdullah has a lot to talk about, including the president's warning to Hamas if it doesn't release all hostages still held in Gaza by
Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
This after Hamas warned the next hostage release set for Saturday may be in jeopardy, claiming Israel is violating terms of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza. Another topic, the president's plan that Jordan's King and other Middle East leaders oppose, having the U.S. take control of war-torn Gaza and rebuild it, displacing Palestinians. President Trump's being sued again, this time over immigration raids and deportations. Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House.
Organizations representing the Episcopal Church, Reform Judaism, Unitarians, and Mennonites are challenging a Trump administration policy allowing immigration agents to make arrests at houses of worship. The lawsuit filed in D.C. argues the policy infringes on religious freedom by impeding the ability to minister to migrants who are in the country illegally.
Related to that, 4 FEMA workers are being fired over money sent to New York.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency will now suspend payments the agency had been issuing to New York City intended to pay the bill for hosting migrants in the city's hotels. The agency's new acting chief ordered the payments stopped after Elon Musk's team, known as Doge, discovered a recent $59 million payment made just last week.
That's Fox's Eben Brown. A lot of Americans are getting sick.
It's the most intense flu activity in 15 years, measured by visits to the doctor's office for flu-like symptoms. CDC reports 43 states reporting high or very high flu activity last week. Some 24 million flu cases this season, and it's not to be toyed with. Over 300,000 hospitalizations, 13,000 deaths.
That's Fox's Therese Crowley. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's tweaked, but moving forward. Radar is clear for now. It is 33 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 11:02. A significantly scaled back version of Governor Braun's property tax plan has been given initial approval at the State House. The bill cleared the Senate's Tax and Fiscal Policy Committee this morning. The original bill would have seen local government funding cut by around $1.6 billion over the next 3 years. The version that was approved scales that number back to roughly $687 million. The timing of a third storm later this week is still up in the air. Ryan Hedrick explains.
Forecasters are focused on tracking Wednesday's storm, which could bring snow and ice. Another storm Saturday could bring more dangerous weather.
So at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be a big impact, but we're still focusing on it, obviously, and still some concern things could change for that, depending on the track of the system.
Forecaster Mike Kosh at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says Saturday's storm could be the third in a series this week. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 million egg-laying birds had to be killed recently at a farm near Seymour because of bird flu. Now, with a strained supply chain, IU economist Carol Rogers tells Wish TV you'll be paying upwards of $5 to $6 for a carton of eggs.
Because the demand is so high and continuously high that probably by mid to late summer.
That's when she says you can expect egg prices to start coming back down. Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Boles is getting a little more responsibility while retaining his role in charge of IMS. Boles is also being named the new president of the NTT IndyCar Series. Boles is succeeding Jay Fry as the man in charge of the series going forward. The many off-season moves made by the Indiana Fever have Caitlin Clark eager to get back on the court soon.
I'm really excited. I think Kelly and Amber have done a really good job of, finding pieces that fit. It makes me excited about the future, obviously, with Steph and her staff coming in here.
The Fever introduced Dewana Bonner to the roster on Monday, while also parting ways with Katie Lou Samuelson. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Terry Stacy for Cardwell Do It Best Home Center, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side. Your discount roofing headquarters. Stop in for wholesale and factory direct pricing on the roofing shingles and supplies you need at the price you love. They offer dimensional and 3-tab shingles at low, low prices. Cardwell also carries a full line of best look quality paints produced by Sherwin-Williams, America's largest paint manufacturer, with paint and primer all in one. Cardwell also carries a full line of Hillman fasteners stores. And for winter, snow shovels, rock salt, and ice melter all in stock. At Cardwell Do It Best, you'll also find a full line of lawn and garden supplies, plumbing, electrical, with lumber and building materials too. Cardwell Home Center. Shop online at cardwellhomecenter.com with over 67,000 products available and free shipping to the store. Cardwell Do It Best, 3205 Madison Avenue, just south of the Gateway Arch on Indy's South Side, serving the greater Indianapolis community since 1945.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 11th. It is 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So the headline this morning, the State Senate Committee approved a scaled-down property tax bill. The vote was 10-3.
No, don't scale down. They gutted it.
Oh,
They took the tenant of the bill. There were 3 tenants to the bill. They all worked together. It was actually look, if you're going to have property taxes, this was actually a really well-written bill by Braun. It took him a while to get to where it needed to be, but it actually was pretty well written. And the 3 things work together. And the 3 tenets are, you've gotten screwed by something that's not your fault the past 4 years, right? I thought the government was supposed to care about the little guy. I thought we were all in it for the working man, right? And Braun said, you've been screwed by inflation, which is in no way your fault. And so to correct this, to take corrective action as part of the 3-step process, we're going to propose resetting property tax bills to 2021 levels before ridiculous inflation took over. Look, pre-inflation bills were going up probably 1 or 2% a year on average. You look at, and that sucked and that was bad, but it was what it was, right? And so Braun said, okay, this is a moderate proposal which in no way affects commercial development. It in no way affects rentals, apartments, and any construction that's been built since 2021, any homes, is getting nothing. This was as scaled down a plan as you possibly could have to help the people who needed the help and help the most amount of people, and say to these government entities, you're getting all the commercial still, you're getting all the commercial growth, you're getting all the new growth that your communities have had, you're getting all the rentals still. We're going to help this little pocket of people. We think for the most bang for our buck, here's what we can do. It also then capped the rate at which your bill could go up. But that only works if you reset. That doesn't mean anything. If you've already skyrocketed my property taxes, and now you're going to come back to me and go, well, we're capping the rate it can go up.
Well, we're capping it. It's already high.
The market is already largely capping it now anyway because of what we have seen go on with interest rates. The whole premise of the cap was so that the assessments didn't get squirrely again going forward after you reset the rate. That's the whole premise of the cap. So you simply capping it now does nothing for anyone. It does nothing for anyone, and there's change in referendum language, which is good, which will make it harder for these referendums to pass, but it doesn't eliminate it, and it's still an uphill slog for the taxpayer. And so this morning, the whole thing anchors around the reset. You don't really even have a bill if you don't do the resets. And this morning, the 10 Republicans sided with the Democrats, most of the 10 Republicans sided with the Democrats to gut language that would have reset your property tax bill unless you're over 65 or a disabled veteran. So you went from this beautiful thing that would help all of these people, and you know what the most important part of this bill was? It would force accountability in local governments. Everybody knows they need it. Everybody knows it's ridiculous. Drive past your local school system. You're telling me in central Indiana there's not somewhere they can make a 1 or 2% cut? They can't figure out a way to do that? We've moved so far past. I mean, I think about, we were talking the other day when Melissa Donahue passed away, and we were talking about the spirit. I was watching some old rallies from 2007 in Indianapolis that people went to, and the passion and the fire that was in those people to get property tax reform at that time in 2007 and 2008, and how the lawmakers and this is the danger of the supermajority, the Republican lawmakers, because they were in a dogfight to control the government, teamed up with those people. They were like, yeah, you guys are getting screwed, and we're here to help you, and you got to vote for some Republicans to get us across the finish line. Hot dang, let's go. And everybody was working together. Everybody was pushing the football in the same direction. Well, now, and we have warned you about this for years and years and years, about blindly voting for these Republicans no matter what. The Republicans feel so emboldened that they can't lose.
They don't care.
There is no team.
Yeah.
It's team them versus team us, and they still don't feel threatened enough by you. I say in a political sense, not in a physical violence sense.
Right.
But politically, they don't believe you hate them enough or willing to organize enough or can find a good enough candidate to beat them, that now they're voting based on who they fear the most. And as of right now, that is still the local government people, and that's what they did today. They said, we are still more concerned about the local government people than we are you, because we don't think you'll do anything about it.
I'm going back in my Twitter feed, and I'm trying to find, do you remember we had the property tax rally at the State House?
Oh, yeah.
That was like
last year.
It was in 2023, wasn't it? That was like in April of 2023, I believe it was. I mean, just that, how long has this been such an issue?
Well, and they lied to you 3 years ago now, when they passed the relief bill that didn't help anyone. And, look, my heart breaks for you, the audience. And that's what this is all about for me. We've laughed about this for months now. I'm the one guy out of this election who got nothing out of it. You know, so often when people support candidates for office or go all in or help people get elected, hey, he's going to be the chief of staff or he's going to be this job over here. I didn't want any of that. All I wanted is this. I want it for me. It's going to help me. But the amount of money I'm going to save is not, I'm at 1 cent an hour on the time I put in versus the money it will save me. I want it for you, darn it. I want your life to be better. I want you to feel safe and secure in your home. I want you to know that when you buy that house, you own it and the government's not going to take it from you, because I see too many people around me who are fearful of that happening. And this is the opportunity for that. You got one shot at it. And these guys today, disgusting. I've got the, at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter, I've got the post up of the names of the Republicans. You can't blame the Democrats. Everybody knows what the Democrats are. There's Democrats, but no. This is Republicans, of the people who screwed you this morning. And you now need to hate them more than they hate you. When you see them out, you need to, and again, peacefully, respectfully, don't break any applicable laws. Badger those people until they're sick of seeing you and hearing your name and hearing your voice. Don't let them off the hook. Don't let them go. Get up in their grill and let them know that you're honked off, that they have zero respect for you.
It was June 3rd, 2023, by the way. June 3rd, 2023.
And I mean,
we had that rally at the State House.
And we were reading, Mock and I were reading these assessments on the air 4 years ago. This has been happening. They know what's happening. They know what it is. And, look, they did screw up, though. And this is the advantage that we have, is they screwed up and they did it this early in the process, which means for the next 2 months, you have an opportunity on a daily basis. And if you aren't doing it on a daily basis, you're letting them off the hook to make these people's lives hell over the next 2 months. Today, you should be emailing these people. I've got the names up at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. You need to certainly be emailing your own senator, because now it goes to the full Senate. It could be amended. It could be amended in the Senate. Somebody could come out in the Senate and go, I move that we reset to 2021 rates, and it could pass, and then it's back in the bill. There's a long way to go in this game, and they screwed up because they have so little self-control by gutting it early that now we have a chance to play offense against these people over the next 2 months. This is such an important bill because it is us versus them. It is everything we've talked about for all of these years playing out right in front of you on how much these people just view you as a piggy bank. That's all they view you as. They don't care about you. They don't want to help you. Nothing. Nothing. I want to give an example of this, Casey, because it dawned on me last night. How you ever notice when these politicians, when they post stuff on social media, and it's always, I was so pleased to meet with, how it's always just government people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever notice that?
Yeah.
How it's never, I'm so pleased to meet with this group of taxpayers, and here's the bills that I'm putting forward that are going to help them and help you. Do you ever see that?
Did you see something specific? I mean, yesterday when I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
I know I saw a recent video of Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, and he was doing something. He was walking around town, and he was meeting with people. And then I know I saw a picture with Governor Braun with a Girl Scout, I believe, because it's Girl Scout cookie season. Was there one that you're specifically talking about?
Oh, yes, there is, Casey. And I've been waiting several years to talk about this person. I think he's I think it's Greenfield is where he represents. Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
Ethan Lawson is his name.
Okay.
And he's a Holcomb person. And I've been waiting quite a while to talk about and tell the story of Ethan Lawson. And
today's the day?
Today's the day we're going to he's wanted to be a politician since he was a little tight, Casey.
Okay.
He's wanted to be a big old power player, and now he's in the General Assembly. He kissed the right ass for all those years, and there he is. We're going to make this guy famous when we come back. I'm going to prove a point in the process.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The commander-in-chief no longer needs a diaper change. The commander-in-chief doesn't have to watch Matlock with pudding smeared on his face. We've got a commander-in-chief that no longer falls up and down the stairs multiple times. I'm excited for that. If anything else.
Let's see how long it takes before Pencil Neck Adam Schiff to file some impeachment charge.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Can we talk about this thing that I observed? And you have tried to disprove this, and you can't do it. You've been trying during the break to disprove it.
I did. Okay, so you tweeted out, I think this was yesterday or last night, you said, other than Governor Braun, I'm not sure I've seen a single lawmaker do a photo op with taxpayers.
Right. When you look at these lawmakers, like I'm saying, they're meeting with people, and they're like, this will be great for taxpayers, and this is what I'm meeting with them about, and this is how it's going to help you. It's almost always government people. Like I'm meeting with this government official or this group of government people or this special interest person. It's never, other than Braun and Micah, who do you see who post photos of, I met with 100
You mean just regular everyday Hoosiers?
taxpayers and we're talking about property. Who does that? You never see it anywhere. It's always this government, this special little pocket of government, and I'm so pleased to be meeting with them and how I can help them. What about helping the people who pay for all of these people? How about just for once, you meet with and try to help the people who pay the salaries of these government people? You never see it. You tried to disprove it during the break, didn't you? You desperately wanted me to be wrong on this.
I did.
What caught my eye on this is there is this guy who is a state rep. It's Hancock County. I think it's Greenfield.
Yeah.
And his name is Ethan Lawson. And I've known Ethan for years. When I was much younger, Ethan was the chairman of the Hendricks County Republicans, and I was the vice chair. And I worked with him at the professional licensing agency, and he was like as rib rock, hardcore conservative as you could like possibly be. If you were to look at a guy and say, that's the guy every sort of conservative should want to be, that's the guy right there.
So he calls himself an authentic conservative leader, and you're correct. He serves in District 53.
Which is, okay.
Hancock and Madison counties.
Somehow, he ended up working for Eric Holcomb.
Oh, boy.
And essentially spent 7 years or 8 years or however long he was there under Holcomb. And I would see this on social media all the time. And I'm not going to say it's because who he started hanging around with or sharing more time with. I'm not going to say that those people influenced him, but all of a sudden he went from this as conservative as you could possibly be to he gets a job and a paycheck, and now through all the stuff, the lockdowns, the mandates, all the tax increases, he was like Eric Holcomb's biggest fan. And every time, this is a guy who I thought was my friend at one point. We used to hang out together, used to go places together. I distinctly remember having a wing eating. I ate the hot wings at the Buffalo Wild Wings with this guy. He was my supervision to make sure I didn't die eating the hot sauce. My friend, like, I'm tweeting at him like, why are you doing this? What are you doing? He never responds. Nothing. And now as a state rep, he got elected, which, I mean, kissing Holcomb's ass paid off for him. Look, he gets to be a state rep now, which is what he always wanted to be. But all of his posts, I said, Casey, go look at this guy's posts.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, when it's a photo, is never with the taxpayers.
Yeah.
He's never proud to be with it. What's the one that I commented on? It's
he's with fire chiefs in this one.
Yeah,
the pages of the State House in this one.
It was great talking with at IND fire chiefs, including Greenfield Fire Terror, and he names all of these people. I'm honored to serve on the Veterans Affairs and Public Safety Committee, working to support the firefighters who put their lives on the line to keep our community. Oh, give me a break, dude. You don't work for the firemen. You work for the taxpayers. We pay the firemen. God bless the firemen and that they're willing to do it. But why don't you put us first for once? Why don't you have a photo op with us? Why don't you care about us? Why don't you tell what you're going to do to help us afford to stay in our homes? No offense to the firemen, and God bless them, but you exist because we pay you. You exist because we write the check. How about you give a damn about the people who write the check for once, Ethan?
Here's a picture of himself.
Right, and you wanted to disprove it. You are plowing through that. You wanted to see some photo of Rob. You're so misguided on this. And I'm picking on him because he deserves to be picked on because he's a two-faced little you-know-what who changed his tune once he got a job and once it became politically beneficial for him. But you could extrapolate this to 100 of these people. Well, maybe not quite 100. There's probably 3 or 4 that are all right. But 95 of these guys in the House and almost all 50 of the senators. Go pour through their social media, and you tell me where you find photos of them meeting with regular taxpayers, and they talk about the thing they're going to do that's going to benefit all the taxpayers. It's always some special interest, some select group of people, some government group of people, and this is why you get the crap that happened today where they gutted the property tax bill, because these people, these lawmakers, the Ethan Lawsons of the world, care about the special interest and the government people way more than they care about you.
With costs going up, this legislation serves our hard-earned taxpayer dollars by empowering local leaders to complete road, bridge, and construction projects efficiently and cost-effectively. Except for, the one on Washington Street that's been going on for a year and a half and has doubled in cost. Oh, and like Falls Creek by the State Fair. How long has that been under construction?
This is my point in all of this. And look, I'm pissed off at all these people, and I'm pissed off for you. I'm pissed off for you because you're getting screwed and nobody cares about it. It's ridiculous that the radio show is far more passionate about this than any of these lawmakers are. Even the ones who are on our side. You don't see this sort of passion out of them. What lawmaker is showing the same passion that we're showing? We don't get paid anything for this. We don't get paid any extra to be passionate on your behalf. These lawmakers are making all this money. Have you ever seen or heard any of them show what we're showing right now just in this segment? And we do it 3 hours a day, every day. Why won't any of them stand up and say, I'm for you, and let's go, and I'll lead the charge? None of them do it. None of them do it.
Here's a picture of him actually in the State House. It's not even a picture of him. It's the back of somebody else's head.
Just
like doing the vote. Here I am working. I mean, I get a little bit of that because that's one of the prongs of marketing is tell me what you're going to do it, remind me what you did. It's expectation, realization, memory. So he's doing good on the reminding you of.
Is he? What's he reminding you of?
I'm trying, Rob. I'm really, really trying.
Yeah, but that's the point. There's no trying to be done, Casey. These people, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, it's a duck. That's what these people are. They're ducks. They're ducks that hate you, that they believe you exist to fund whatever they say, and the impact on you, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, and I'm just so sick of it. And today was a day. It was the last straw for me, Casey. Today was the day where they had a chance to prove me wrong. For 8 years, say, you're wrong about this. We do care about you. We do care about your families. We do care about your homes. They proved today they don't care at all. And you notice none of these people, other than Andrew Ireland, and J.D. Prescott, who are on the House side, are about the only two people that I've heard. Maybe Mike Young in the Senate. That's about it. There's only a handful of these guys who have shown any sort of passion for property tax reform to help you afford to stay in your home. That's pathetic. All these 100-plus Republicans, and you can count on one hand the amount of them that have been remotely passionate about you being able to afford to stay in your home. You're the voice of reason here. Is it just a bad day for me, or do you think that there's some merit to what I'm saying right now?
No, absolutely. I think it's a bad day not only for you, but for all Hoosiers. And, we've talked about how long you've been talking about this, and it seemed like finally everybody was like, yeah, you're right. Our bills have been going up, and you're right. And finally, Governor Braun is saying, you know what? No, we're going to change that. We're going to reset the rates to 21. We're going to cap the growth. But they took it out. There's no rate reset. And to your point, what are you capping then?
Right.
You're capping the growth has already happened. So unless you reset it, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, and look.
There was one good part about the bill. I'm surprised they left it in, honestly, and that was the referendum.
Well, they may not.
But that's like the easy, part.
I mean, it is, I think that's, people got mad at me, the libertarian people, for supporting Braun and whatever. Braun's done everything he possibly could. It wouldn't matter if Rainwater were in there or whoever. It's going to go the way it's going to go. You can't make the General Assembly do anything. But you're right, Casey. When you see, because so often it's apathy from the public, right? How many times do we talk about something and then nobody they're in their radio, they're in their car listening to the radio, and they say, yeah, that's right, you tell them. And
they've been reaching out. I mean, think about our voicemails got overloaded, all of the emails we got, and then we passed those names on to Governor Braun. He mentioned them in his State of the State address. It was his top priority. He had people in the audience representing all of Hoosiers. It was like, here these people are. They've been calling the senators. They've been calling and emailing and reaching out saying, this is the deal. And you know what they did? They blew you off.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Well, look, we're not going away on this. You're not going away on this. And it's just, you got to stay motivated every single day. But one of the things that helps us do, and we've mentioned this several times today, this is helping us point out to you people who these lawmakers actually are. They're not people who you should revere. They're not people who you should respect. They're not people who you should pay any sort of homage to or have reverence for or really give them any benefit of the doubt whatsoever. And it gives... They hate me because I know what to look for. I know to look at that guy's social media, and those are the things in my brain that dawn on me. You don't see any pictures with taxpayers. You just see the special interest people.
Maybe he's trying, and the taxpayers are saying, "No, I'm good. Thanks."
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, game on. You wanted a game on. I warned you guys. You had what an opportunity to just let me leave you alone, and they chose not to take it. So it'll be good for our show. It's going to be great for our show the next couple months because people are mad. People are pissed off, and they know now that the government had an opportunity, the legislators had an opportunity. They didn't even make it out of committee.
Right.
They didn't even let it get to the Senate for a full vote and debate.
They heard some testimony last week.
And who did they even hear testimony from? The county commissioner guy or counselor, whatever he was from Huntington, who couldn't answer the question on why he just doesn't do the increases himself. Spending Sue Finkham,
who doesn't work in hypotheticals.
Yeah, and who's got
early days. We don't need to look at this.
Talking about the fire cuts or whatever, and she's got a fire if 6-7 people making $170,000 more in her fire department, including the guy at the tippy top who's at $171,000. You got the mayor of Terre Haute. If you were to do a poster child in the state over the history of Terre Haute of a cesspool of corruption and horrible choices and mismanagement, it would be Terre Haute. That was your A team that you sent in there?
And then the mayor of Evansville was reportedly walking around saying, no.
Yeah, I just, it's just a bad, but a long game. You don't win the baseball game in the second inning, and that's where we're at right now. So get ready, guys. You asked for it, you're going to get it.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Moving to the full chamber, I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. State lawmakers have initially approved a plan for property tax relief, although it's a scaled-down version. Even with the revenue impacted to local governments lessened, Democratic State Senator Fadi Kadora is still a no-vote.
Because of a couple of provisions in the bill that impact our schools, and also to understand the impact to school district by school district.
The latest version removes a property tax bill reset to 2021 levels. It's now on to the full state Senate. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is testifying before lawmakers on Capitol Hill. In his opening statement, Powell said the Fed is committed to bringing down inflation, signaling policymakers aren't rushing to lower interest rates. President Trump slammed the Fed last month and blamed Powell for not stopping inflation. I'm Kurt Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Here's how TaxRise saved Yvonne over 99% on what she owed the IRS.
I got a letter from the IRS saying that I owed $69,000, and I had no idea what to do. That's when I contacted you guys.
Our tax professionals at TaxRise jumped into action. They helped Yvonne file her back taxes and get into compliance, but they didn't stop there. They negotiated directly with the IRS to fight for her case.
Effective immediately, the IRS has accepted. All they want in return is $100.
Thank you guys so much. I can't even explain how grateful I am.
We're so happy we got Yvonne the relief she deserved. We've helped thousands of clients find solutions to their tax problems, and we're ready to help you. To find out if you qualify for a tax relief program, call TaxRise today, 888-829-0991. For a free consultation, call 888-829-0991, 888-829-0991.
Results vary, not guaranteed, uncompensated testimonial. TaxRise is not IRS affiliated or a law firm.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Howard Bailey Financial is now in Carmel on Rangeline Road. For over 20 years, we've helped people navigate their retirement journeys, and now we're bringing our experience closer to home. Visit retirecarmel.com to schedule your appointment or text Carmel to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Together, let's build the retirement you deserve. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
I had changed the locks. Didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
The House Roads and Transportation Committee has been busy. They've been looking at amendments to House Bill 1461. Yes, this is a bill about how they want to charge you money for driving on the road. So the original bill proposed a $150 million cap on the Community Crossings Grant Program. And under the amendment, the cap was increased to $200 million.
So this is hilarious. This was the so a little background on this. Remember 8 years ago or whatever, these Mensa members and very high IQ people decided that the best way to fund road construction was not, or road maintenance, was not to increase accountability inside the government. It was not to have, forced measures of explanation in terms of projects or further forcing these government entities to explain the necessity of a project. It was a lot of, quite frankly, pie-in-the-sky bullcrap from Holcomb to facilitate deals that'll benefit his rich business buddies that he so loved to pal around with. And they decided that the largest tax increase in the history of the state was the way to go. And we told them at the time, this would have been 2017, said, you people are on drugs. First of all, the fact that this was the end for me. This was I was almost there after Pence because I saw a lot of stuff, but this was the end for me in terms of ever playing ball with the Republicans or considering I guess Daniel Elliott tells me I'm a Republican in good standing, but in terms of any sort of like public association with these people, because the Republicans are supposed to be the fiscal stewards, right? They're supposed to be the people who manage the money. They're supposed to be the party of low taxes. And their response to road funding was, well, we'll enact the largest tax increase in the history of the state, and it'll go up every year with no accountability whatsoever. And then we're going to pat ourselves on the back and tell you what a good job we did. But even if you accepted all of that, this was the dumbest way to raise taxes you could have possibly done, because you're raising taxes on a dying industry, which is gasoline powered vehicles. And so like 2 or 3 years into this thing, they start looking around, as they do down the street from us so often, with their thumbs up their backside going, that didn't quite work in the way we thought. We better raise that tax again. So they continued the raise on, what is it? It's like 17 cents higher per gallon of gas than it was in 2017. The roads are no better. Casey,
they're actually worse.
Would you like to explain the roads where you live? In
some cases.
And so
you could take a bath in some of those potholes.
Now these same wizards of high intellect that totally what did up the last time are back with some new ideas on how they're gonna pay for road maintenance.
They wanted to add a fee for delivery businesses like Amazon or DoorDash.
Their plan was to like give the local governments the ability to put $1 tax on your deliveries. On your deliveries. Now, you notice the theme here, it all centers around tax increases.
Well, one of the provisions was to create additional property tax levies.
Indianapolis is going to be able to raise their own taxes. Get these people. They're financial predators. That's what I keep telling you. They are. And so now that's all falling apart because it's stupid. It's stupid. Like your theory is that Amazon is what's doing all the damage. And one of the major issues with the way they fund roads is the state takes all this money, and then through these variety of programs, They just divvy it back up to the communities. Here's an idea. Stop confiscating the money to begin with, and then get rid of these programs and let the local governments decide how to spend the money. Like this community crossings program. That's stupid. Let people keep their money. Let them decide the road projects in their own community. And if they can't do it with the money they have, then they can raise the taxes. I've never understood this, why the state, when I was a local official, I never understood why I had to go to the state of Indiana and beg for money that was sent to them by people who worked and lived in my community. Why do I have to go beg you for money that originated out of here? They send it, what is it called when you send money to somebody and they take it and they twist it around and then give it to people who didn't earn it? What's it called?
Spin that around?
No, I don't think it's called spin. I think there's a name for that, Casey. Money. You say it loud. You can say it. You can say it loud.
Put it in the spin cycle.
Yeah. Is there a name for that? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And I never understood this. I used to bitch about this all the time when I was an elected official. I understand it even less today. Just get out of the way. Let the people keep the money. Let the communities decide how they're going to fund the projects in their community, and you fund the state roads. Don't be funding some town road in Zionsville. Don't be funding some city roundabout in Carmel. Fund the state, the stuff that runs through the state. You fund it and leave everybody else alone. Gee, we solved that problem in about 3 minutes, Casey.
So the motor fuel taxes, they fund about 80% of the state road and bridge funding. Okay. And they said that funding it's declining because more people are using fuel efficient vehicles or even the EVs.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
yeah.
I recall somebody 8 years ago
saying
this
is going to be a problem.
This is going to be a real problem.
Here's the thing. They say that inflation has reduced the purchasing power of road funds.
Oh, give me a break. Why is it the government is the only people that can't make something work without tax increases? Like in your life.
But isn't that true for Hoosiers then? If inflation has reduced the purchasing power of road funds, how has inflation not reduced the purchasing power of Hoosiers?
And why is it that the government is the only person who can't figure out how to make it work?
Right.
You make it in your life. Kevin makes it work in his life. I make it work in my life. Why is it that only government can't do it without taking more by force from people? These people are, again, I'm not surprised what happened this morning happened in the tax committee, because these people, and I've been telling you people this for so many years, are some of the dumbest people alive. This is why I had to get out of it, Casey. I was going to die of a heart attack or a stroke, and it's why I won't go back to it, because I was continuously enraged at the utter incompetence and stupidity that I observed from people who were in charge of all of this stuff. It is just, most of these people, not every single one of them, but most of them, if you require them to run a business, Casey, pick a prominent business in this country that the majority of people frequent in some capacity. Just pick one.
Starbucks. Prominent business people frequent.
If you gave, of the 150 legislators, if you gave them a month's worth of training, so like we're going to teach you everything about the Starbucks.
Could they be a barista?
They could not run the Starbucks and turn a profit for a month. I guarantee the overwhelming majority of those 150 people with a month's worth of training and knowing everything about the Starbucks, and then you turn the Starbucks over to them, they would be in huge financial trouble by the end of the first month.
They would raise the price of the coffee is what they would do.
Right. And when they can't do that, what do? You go out of business. You go out of business, right? There's a price point. But in government, I can just take whatever I want to take, and you're going to just sit there and you're going to like it, right?
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing next?
There's nothing you can do about it. Do you want to talk about something good? Can we do something, a positive thing? You know, everybody's so...
You want to ruin the show?
Are we on theme?
Got a good thing
you
going here today.
You want to go out on a...
you go out
on
however
a good
you want
note,
to go.
on a happy note?
You've been such a good sport today.
All right, we'll do that coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
Oh, man, we're going to have a fun Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon. We start at 3:06. Jeff Foxworthy scheduled to call in. We've got Jeff Boggs. We're going to have a lot of laughs today. 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes the two of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
If you built a house, you'd start with a strong foundation, right? Now, if you want to build a financial game plan for retirement, you'd start with Social Security. That's the foundation, and here's why. The decision to file for Social Security could impact your taxes, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, spousal benefits, and even your Medicare premiums. Everything is impacted by Social Security. That's why it's critical you get this right.
Nobody knows Social Security like our guy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy. Bill is going to do customized. That's important. Customized Social Security analysis just for you. Everybody's different. He'll customize yours. And it's free. Absolutely free, even if you're not a client. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call our guy, Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Don Fisher here for QC Kinetics. I want to share with you the best thing I've done for my knee pain. I've been hearing commercials about the groundbreaking treatments that QC Kinetics offers for months. Meantime, my chronic knee pain had hit an all-time high threshold. I wanted to stay active and enjoy playing golf again without the pain. So I decided to call and book an appointment. And what I found out was that QC Kinetics is the non-surgical solution. I have no knee pain and feel like I did 10 years ago. And it's all because of the non-invasive therapy from QC Kinetics.
Discover the solution to joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. For a free consultation, call 463-282-6886.
I'm back to playing golf and enjoying life. Take it from me, this is the best call you can make to relieve your orthopedic pain.
For your free consultation, call QC Kinetics today. 463-282-6886. 463-282-6886.
If your loved one has stopped seeing friends because hearing loss prevents the use of the telephone, please help them by visiting RelayIndiana.com. RelayIndiana.com provides captioned telephones that allow the hard of hearing to have phone conversations through voice recognition technology. The other person's words appear on an easy-to-read screen. Help your loved one stay in touch with their family and friends by getting them the CapTel captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM. 866-549-TERM. 866-549-TERM.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, I'll be really quick with the good news, and then we'll get back to the boot.
Oh, yeah, hurry up. Yeah, get this good news out of the way because I want to jam my 10.5 extra wide back up the General Assembly's.
Really? Extra wide? You wear an extra wide
I
shoe?
see you look at my shoe. Don't act like you don't know.
Dr. Fauci's $170,000 planned museum exhibit has been canceled by Doge. There we go. That's the good news. Elon Musk stripped away a museum honoring Dr. Fauci.
So let's talk about what a little bunch of scumbags they are down the street from us about this little game they're playing with people, because they're obviously our audience is bombarding these lawmakers who did us all dirty this morning with these emails. And one of these people sent me the email that they sent to their lawmaker.
Yeah.
And they respond by saying, yeah, thanks for reaching out. Senator so-and-so is one of the authors on this bill. He'll be voting yes. And this person, rightfully so, just ripped him back and goes, how stupid do you think I am? I know he voted yes on it. All the Republicans voted yes. You voted yes on a crappy bill that's gutted from helping millions of people. Like, they're not even being honest. Like, they know exactly why she's emailing. They know exactly why this person wrote. They know exactly what she's pissed off about. And even when confronted with it, well, he's voting yes. That's the problem. You voted yes on it.
It's not Braun's property tax relief bill anymore. They changed it. They completely changed it.
And this is the most government thing ever. So we're supposedly so concerned about the cost of the bill, right? It's the cost of the bill. And the little caveat now they put in, which is not in the bill. The bill is the perfect bill in the sense of they said, okay, we're helping everyone. We're not treating anybody differently. We're treating everybody equal. If you have this home, whether it's a $500,000 home or a $100,000 home, you're eligible for this. This is what we should want from our tax code. They strip that out, and then you're telling me about this provision they put in there.
Well, I was reading some of the details in the bill. They added something, and it actually might help someone like Kevin. And it introduces...
Kevin, are you looking to buy a house? Are you like actively in the market? Let's tee this up for a second. Are you like, man, I can't wait to get out there with these high skyrocketing interest rates to buy my home?
I mean, I'd love to, but probably not anytime soon.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Casey.
Okay, but for somebody like Hammer, who owns his house and who has been there for a long time, doesn't help him.
That's correct.
Somebody like you, who's still making payment, doesn't help you.
No, nothing.
No, doesn't help me either. But this bill, actually, they put something in it that might help Kevin. And they introduced a first-time homebuyer tax credit, a first for Indiana. So what this does, it's a credit if you have an income up to $75,000 a year. So you have to make less than $75,000 a year, and you're buying a property that costs up to $250,000. So you have to make less than $75,000 a year. The home can't cost more than $250,000. If you are qualified, you could get a $2,500 credit.
$2,500 credit. Okay, so I'm going to do a mortgage calculator here. Let's see here. Let's say the home was $245,000, right? And you're making less than $75,000 a year. So let's just say you could do $24,500 down. There's no way somebody making $60,000 a year is putting that sort of payment down. What are interest rates now? What are they? 6%?
Aren't they closer to 7?
Are they 7?
Do 6.5.
6.5. All right, let's say 6.5. The mortgage, we'll say it's a 30-year mortgage. Let's see.
I love it when you pull out the mortgage rate calculator.
Well, this is not giving me what filibuster here for a second. Calculate mortgage. That's what I needed. Let's see here. That's not right. Filibuster here for a second. I'm going to get you a mortgage payment and see if Kevin could make the actual.
So, I mean, think about that though. If you're talking about a property that costs up to $250,000, that's going to be it's your first-time home buyer. So that is going to be your starter home.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have savings for a down payment on a home like this?
Could you stroke a check for 20? Could you stroke a check for $25,000?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking 10%, $25,000.
Probably not right now.
Not right now. He would need help most likely from mom and dad.
Okay, so this is just principal and interest. So this doesn't include your property taxes. I mean, you're going to be. So you're in March of 2025 right now. You would owe. This is before, Kevin. This is before your taxes and interest. So on a $250,000 home, you'd be adding $2,500 in taxes plus your insurance would be off the chart. I mean, you're easily adding an extra $5,000 a year to these payments. So that extrapolate that out was at $450 a month. This said it would be $13 if you did a $245,000 home and you were able to make the 10% down at 6.5% interest before taxes and insurance, your mortgage payment would be $1,394. You would easily be $1,800 or more. Kev, are you in the mood for I don't know if you're familiar with sort of size house you'd be getting for $245,000 right now. Are you in the mood to outlay $1,800 a month?
Probably not right now.
Thank you.
I'm still paying off some loans.
Yeah, thank you. But in these infinite wisdom Menza people down the street from us, this is how we're going to solve the problem. We're going to screw millions of people who could actually help, and we're going to offer something to this guy who's like, yeah, I don't really even want that. No, it's not going to do anything for me.
Well,
I hate all these people, Casey, and
it's been a disappointing day.
I hope if you've listened to the show today,
431,
you hate them too, and you hate them every day, and you let them know about it. My gosh, Casey, this has been depressing.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. If your garage floor looks bad with stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your entire garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job or chipping paint makes your garage or basement look worse. With one quick call to 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, I can save you $1,000 on a new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor during our winter sale. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating is the gold standard. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross garage floor won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. What's the Comer & Cross difference? We make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. In one day, you will love your gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor just in time for spring. Call us right now for $1,000 in savings during our winter sale. Operators are standing by now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
If you're drowning in unresolved tax debt, know this. The IRS can place a lien on your home, garnish your paycheck, and levy your bank account. That's catastrophe for you.
We interrupt this message to bring you some good news about your tax debt. We're TaxRise, experienced tax professionals who can help you seek relief programs and work directly with the IRS on your behalf. Find out if you qualify with a free consultation. 888-788-4220. Eric from South Carolina owed over $74,000. We helped reduce it to $798. Troy, a disabled veteran, owed over $142,000 and settled at $500. We've helped thousands of clients with their tax problems, and we're ready to help you. So take the drama out of your tax debt and rise above your situation with TaxRise. For your free consultation, call 888-788-4220. 888-788-4220.
Results vary, not guaranteed. Client names changed. TaxRise is not IRS affiliated or a law firm.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Let's talk about getting back to your best. Lack energy, muscle mass, feel moody, or have low libido? It could be signs of low testosterone. Know your T levels. Get tested. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer. The true experts are at Low T Center, and everyone's different. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Get personalized treatment at Low T Center. For current patients, Low T Center offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment today. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Don't miss one of the hottest games this season for the final time.
Halliburton, the lob to the goal. Caught and dunked by Neesmith.
Catch the Pacers and Knicks in a special ticket offer.
Goes to the corner where Siakam takes it, marches right down the right side and flushes it with the right hand.
Your Pacers